don't know if you can see that. Yeah, let's put this in here. That might work. Well, guess we're live. Video output low. We knew that would happen. Alrighty. Everybody's probably still watching Sylvia. That's alright. And let's see if we can see what I'm seeing. Tonight I'm going over a few sacks of wheats I got lying around here. Seeing what the hell's going on. What's going on with that 1946? That's not quite normal. Yeah, I don't think that's the way it should be. I'm pretty sure it's not a typical error variety either. That is squished, flat. Yeah. That's interesting. Damage, I'm sure. What do you make of that 90? What do you make of that date? Yeah, that's foobar. Yeah, I'll have to set that aside and look at it because usually they're not that wide, even if they're screwed up. Huh. Alrighty. We'll put that one up here. I pull these coins out, and I don't know what to do with them after that. They go in the bucket, they go in this pile, they go in that pile. I've got little slips of paper I write them down on. Alright, looks like we got something going on in this. Let's zoom in. What do you think, lamination? That's going to be my first hunch. Katie Armstrong has joined the group. How are you doing today, Katie? Just looking at pennies. Okay, is that glue? Is it doo-doo? Or is it peeling? Yeah, it looks to me to be glue. I'm going to put a toothpick on it. Let's raise it up a little. I don't know if you can see a link. I put a link in the the about section under the video, but I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, that's doo-doo. This is raised. Yeah, that's glue or some gack. Oldies. SJ sent me, says Oldies. Yeah, I'm looking at pennies, and I'm setting up a spreadsheet. I'll give you the link here in a bit. You can open it in another window, or just jump over and take a look. The whole idea is I got some on my blog, but it's just text. That's all it is. Let me find this link. Here we go. Copy, and I'll come down here and paste it. And you're going to see it 20 seconds before I do, I think. There it is. I wonder if what do I do to make this go through? Come on, work for me. There you go. Now, Google Docs, you can create a document and share it with everybody. Oh, I got to come back over to this. And, well, they got spreadsheets on there, so I figured I'd do a class on spreadsheets. Now, that's just junk on this one. Throw that in junk pile. Because people have been asking, how do you keep track of your coins? Damage. Nothing there. See anything there worth looking at? No. That's wrecked. So I keep a lot of my stuff on a spreadsheet, but looking at the desk, it's pretty clear I've lost track of my coins. This one wants to be looked at more. And you're going to be buffering like there's no tomorrow because I've got a couple of things open. And I'm moving these coins pretty quick, as you can see. I'll let it sit for just a minute. There's a good spot. Oh, this would be good. Here's a neat thing to look for. You got 3 kinds of mint marks used in 1946. That 9 look kind of wide to you? Anyway, let me try to focus for a bit. You've got the document I just put a link to. I'll put it up there again. It's easy enough. I just copy paste. And it's going to be a spreadsheet. Right now, I'm just setting up the framework. Let me see if I can probably get the desktop view, screen and me. And this takes a minute to show up on my side. Okay, but you should see in a moment the, nope, that's not it. The coin inventory and checklist. I've only got a few things in here right now, but you've got, date, grade. I'll look at the Lincoln Cent tab. Tab is down on the bottom. And it's a checklist. If you got that one, you just put an X there or whatever. Make it blue if you like. But you can print this up. I could probably do with a little space in between those parentheses. Give you a space to, there you go. That'll work better. I'll copy that and just do it all the way down. Paste. There you go. Now clear an area here. Copy and paste. It's pretty boring around this house most of the time. But this gives me something to do. And we got a couple of people showing up. This one comes in as anonymous Nyan Cat, but you can't see that because it'll be, under. What's going on here? You can't see the screen and me. Screenshot, screen plus me. And it's not, there it is. Okay, that might actually work. Now you can see the screen that I'm talking about. It's pretty handy. Tab around, play with it. You can't edit it, but you can always print the darn thing up. It's got columns in there, but you can copy it onto your own spreadsheet. That's the thing. And you can leave it right up on Google Docs. And that can be pretty handy for you. I wish I could sleep, says Katie, but my manic self won't let me. Well, you're going to fit in right fine around here. School. It's always school when I'm around. Oh, did you see the 46? So check out the spreadsheet. You got the link. You can check back on it every day or two or a few days. It's blurry. Yeah. It's a Walmart laptop. I didn't spend the big money. I'll work on it. I got to sell some coins first. For that, I got to get rid of some of these coins. To do this, I want to put together some, rolls of 50 different wheats. To do that, I got to get through this pile of 46s. So I'm going to come back over to the camera here. Let's see. I think that's this one. And that should show up in just a second. I'm going to have to play it off of here because I can't see nothing. There we go. So I got a 1946. Getting back into this. This one has a non-serif mint mark. And geez, I got a whole stack of 46S's. So compare the next one. And this one is a trumpet tail mint mark. Or the ball serif. There's three of the darn things. You can see the difference between one S and the other. Kind of neat. So now you thought you were good with just the 1946S? No, you got to get three of them. What's this one going to be? I can't even see it. Okay, that's a ball serif, and it's squished to hell. Or is that a sans serif? All right, try another one. What's that one going to be? Okay, that's the trumpet tail. See that? Well, I don't know which one it is. There's four of them. Go to Variety Vista. I'll show you what he's got there. Does that 9 look kind of thick? I'll have to take a look at that. So we're getting through these. Some of these are looking okay. Some are kind of screwed up. Now some of them are downright decent. But I'm looking around. Maybe we'll all learn something. I got to show you this one I found a little while ago. It doesn't quite look right. That's not it. Try this one. Does that date look right to you? I'm really not sure that. I'm not quite sure that's right. Oh, I lost the chat. There it is. Hey, Lee. Lee Hill, I think, is in the room. Let me scroll up a bit. Yep, there he is. Good to see you, Lee. SJ is here. SJ, you can't talk. What are you going to do? Go watch George. and not being able to sleep. I have a school field trip in 7 hours. We used to have those. Then like third grade came along and no more field trips because they cut the budget. And we're thinking that's bullshit. And of course, government was bullshit ever since. And now I'm a grumpy old man, so I bitch about the government most days. I've got all these with some kind of photo or something. I can't quite make out. A devil with a beast on inside of me. SJ, turn off the computer. So what's wrong with that 9? Is it just squished? If you look at the rest of the coin, yeah, it's kind of screwed up. It's just been, I don't know, hammered, beaten, welded. It's just frigged. Looks like road rash. And then you get that 9. Okay, yeah, we'll set that one aside and look at it another day. I got to get under there with a loop. But I got all these wheats, and the best way to get rid of them is give people what they want. What do they want? They want a whole bunch of wheats. But they don't want all 56 Ds. Back when I was, 12 years old, I'd run to the bank. I got $5 from my paper route. I go get down some pennies and open them right up there on the curb, right? Okay, that's a trumpet tail mint mark on this one. Everything else looks good. Let's check the eyeball. He's looking real good. And then pull out all these wheat pennies. And it was great. Geez, I got free wheat. Free! I'd pull, 10 of them out in a day. No problem. I go back to the bank across the street. I turn in $9.50 because, I had a few bucks to start with. And I get nickels. And I pick through those. And I'm picking up 40s, 50s, 38s, all kinds of 38s. Geez, they were everywhere. Never got any buffaloes. But I got all kinds of old Lincolns. I get a war nickel out every now and again. And I take I keep that one out. I take the nickels to the next bank, right? Because there's banks all over the place downtown. And I had a bike. Of course, it was all uphill to get home or get downtown. So it's the way the tides work. Yeah, this looks okay. And that's a trumpet tail. Eyeball looks good. Anything we gotta look for there? No. So, if I'm gonna go uphill both ways to get to the banks to get downtown, I'm gonna hit every bank. Pick up pennies, trade them in for nickels. Pick up nickels, trade them in for dimes. I didn't really afford quarters because, $5, $10 is above what I could afford. We'll get rid of that one. But I come home. I went downtown with $10. That's a rather broad mint mark on that, isn't it? Huh. That's been squished. I got a pocket full of change that I can spend. And I'd spend that on lunch at school. And I got a pocket full of wheat pennies and old nickels. Well, didn't get a whole lot of dimes. This is 1980. All the dimes, all the silver had already been ripped out of circulation. Everything's freaking brand new. All the change, all the pocket change growing up was brand new. It's 10, 12 years old. There's nothing before 64, 65 in the dimes and up. Well, it's got some damage on it, but I don't see any varieties. Junker. Nowadays, you pick out a bunch of quarters. Some of them are almost down to planchets or so wore out. But I picked up a whole bunch of stuff. Every week I go down, hit the banks. I do my bank run. And I had to do it quickly because I get out of school at, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The banks close at 5. A couple of them close at 4:30. Jesus, that's no way to operate a business. Stay open. I want my money. So I run back and forth from bank to bank. Changing one roll for the next. Get home, and then I take a look at my pennies. And that's a big scratch on that one. Another frigged up mint mark. These are all getting screwed up. How come? See the top of that, how it's even? There's no points. That's a non-serif mint mark. We'll give that one a closer look with a loop. So that's how I first started to coin roll hunt. Because, geez, you can pull these wheats out. And I'd pull out 56 Ds all the time. Every third one was 1956 D. you know, they're looking pretty good because they're only 30 years old back then. I mean, you figure you pull out a pocket at 1987, you got a good chance it's going to have some shine to it right now. Well, you go back 40 years. Yeah, they look great. But anyway, to finish my story, if I'm going to use up these wheats that I got, I want to put together rolls of 50 different, because nobody wants to roll at just 56Ds or just 50s or just 40s. How's that one look? Yeah, we've got nothing to see here. That one suitable? That one might be suitable for a roll. Oh, this goes directly to the crud bucket. Yep, that's a goner. So let's give people a good head start on their collections. Okay, you ready for this? Let's look at this. Let's look at this one real close. We got a ball. The 1946 S is the only Lincoln. Oh, that's interesting. It's the only Lincoln that has an inverted mint mark. And it's on the ball serif mint mark. Let's turn that upside down. Oh, wow. Now, the neat aspect about this particular one is, if I can get my pointy stick in here, that section of the mint mark on the lower right, of course, it's upside down right now, on the die variety you're looking for, it should be nothing noticeable. So I'm going to put that one under the loop right now. There go the glasses. Okay, that's promising. I got to turn on that light behind me that makes me look funny. I'm going to put that up here. And if you can find one of those, you might not. Sometimes they're just plain wore out. But if you can find one, they're worth a pretty penny. But it's the lower right, and it's going to be the right mint mark. This is the trumpet tail, and you need the ball serif. And this lower right, got to be nothing there. Nothing. What do we got there? Is that some kind of cud? All right, you see this bit here by the edge, right on the rim? I'm going to guess if I looked at the outer edge here, there's going to be a bit of damage. I see something here on the top of the rim. But to account for this bit inside the rim, I'm guessing damage. And I get a ding right there. Yeah. Okay, that one took a hit. Yeah, that one took a hit. So that's nothing. And this one's pretty unexciting. Let's look over here. Beaten to hell. A lot of these are. A lot of these common dates, they've been picked out of circulation. You pick apart a box with to find the wheats, and they're going to look a lot like this thing. Just, screwed up, beat up. Not a whole lot of value, but they're still going to be good for 3-4 cents. What is a trumpet tail Lee Hill as? Okay, we got 4. See the ball, the trumpet, what's the other one? This answers 3 different mint marks on 1946. Okay, this is not a good example, but what the hell? There's a trumpet tail, a ball serif, and a sans serif. Alrighty, the trumpet is kind of flared like a trumpet would be. Just kind of comes out. And I've got a couple here. I can probably find you what we're talking about. Okay, that's a trumpet tail. You look at the bottom of the S. Right, it's not a ball, but it's got a serif. The ball, well, it's a big brown ball. Much like that one. There you go. This is a ball serif. And you see the difference between that and the trumpet tail. Maybe you can. If I can get this lined up right, it'd be a whole lot easier. I didn't have any planning on this. This is impromptu. Okay, trumpet on the top left, ball on the lower right, and there's one with no serifs. And it's kind of dull and bland and really unexciting. Let's see. I just had one around here somewhere. But instead of having one 1946S, now you got to have 3. Because you got to have, all the different mint marks go with that. And there's a sans serif. Neither a ball nor a trumpet, just plain S, like Cowboy S came through. Already? And we got something sticking out the bottom of that one, so I'll have to put that under the loop. See that little bit of brightness? Is that a damage or is it an RPM? All right, let's stick it up there and give it a look. But a lot of times you can, give it a quick glance, and if it looks perfectly normal, it probably is. This one looks all right. A lot of contact marks. You get too many contact marks and damage, don't even bother looking for varieties. The big chunk and wee, that one's out of here. Because variety collectors are just as picky as regular coin collectors. They want a good looking coin. That looks all right. That's a trumpet. Looks okay here. Look at the eye. Look up here in Liberty We Trust. And don't forget to flip your pennies over and look at the backside. It only takes a second. Give it a quick glance and see if those dots in between E and P, like you can see this one, and this one over here by Unum. See if those are anything other than round. You want it to be, well, you don't want it to be round. Round is good. You get a regular coin, but you're looking for distension. You're looking for oblong, ovals, squares, got a point on it, different things. And this one's kind of screwed up, so we'll just send that back. And what do we got in here? Can you identify that one? It's not a sans serif. Is that a trumpet or is it a ball? Caruza 82 has joined us. Good to see you. And yes, the struggle is real. Lutz Fru, I'm sure, is here. There he is. Oh, it's Lutz Far Out. He's changed his name. Legit question. How can I tell a proof like nickel from a proof? Well, let's let me get a nickel out. Oh, let's see. I think I got some here somewhere. Yep. Oh. There's a nickel. How about a 1990? Is that all right? Okay, and I got some more nickels, but I don't do nickels much. And going proofs. Wear your gloves, will you? You put a big fingerprint on there. You're the one who suffers. We'd have a look at some nickels, though. Man, you're gonna like these. Get the fingertip gloves. If you can't stand putting them, the whole glove on, just make a 4-finger glove and put them on. Just that. You got the rest of your hand is free. You're not gonna sweat yourself up. Let's pull this guy out. This is a 1990 proof. Isn't that nice? Look at that. Look how pretty that is. Let's make it even prettier by seeing it. 1990s. There we go. Nice, fancy, handsome piece. Notice the rim on that. How it's much broader than a regular nickel. Pull this up. Damn, I got to clean that desk off. Let's get a pretty one out of here. This is that 46S I got from, if I can get it out. I can't get that out. There you go. This is that 46S I got from Justin Couch. Okay, let's put that side by side. You're looking at the width of that rim. On the left side, you see the proof. And, geez, it's, it's substantial. On the right side is the business strike. It's just a bit there. Now, if you go back to the proof, you'll see it's much better centered. It's real close to right on center. You will find some misalignment on proofs, but you get back to the business strike over here, and this one's a good example, so never mind. But a lot of times you'll see much more, off-centeredness, misaligned dies on that. Let me try the other side. I bet you we'll find something there. And no, that's a pretty solid strike. Okay, here you go. On the top left, that bit of rim is a little wider than over here in the lower right. But compare it to the proof still, and that proof is still a broad, flat rim. Now let's take these two and put them on their sides. And you'll be able to tell which one's the proof. Okay. Well, the proof is on the lower side, and the regular nickel, the business strike, is above. Now, first off, the rim is still just as shiny as could be. You still got the mirror finish on the edge of the proof. But if you look at the top, that's this one, that little edge, just that little, where's my pointy stick? You got a bevel on that nickel, just a tiny bevel on that edge of that nickel. On the proof, it's square. Right? I mean, it's right over and straight down. But on the, let me set this aside. On this guy, that's your business strike. Yeah, it's straight, but the two sides have a slight angle to them, and that makes it possible for you to pick that baby up off a table real easy. Let's see if we can get down in there and see that. But you saw that proof is also just a little bit thicker. Let's check this out. That's because the rim is milled to better specifications. And if we can see this edge right in here has a slight bevel on it. And boy, this is hard to see. You see it a whole lot better on pennies. But you look at the back and you see the shadow, the way that seems to offer just a bit of edge. You know, it's like getting, you know, squeezed off. And you put that down on a table and you can pick that up real easy. Let me show you some pennies. You'll see that bevel a whole lot better on some pennies. And you see the little gap in between the pennies? That's because of the bevel that's on them. And if I can get that to focus down here, where the edge sticks out the most, maybe we'll even see it better. Well, maybe. Down there on the bottom, maybe you can see just a touch of, you know, where it's not square, right down here. Let me put a bright area under there. That's not a 90-degree, you know, corner. It's been rounded over. Where's the proof? Just like that. And then you have the, well, just a general mirror finish of the coin. And that finish tells all. Over here, the business strike. Yeah, they cleaned up the die. They're ready for it, you know. It's looking good. But they didn't polish either the planchet or the die. Now, on these proofs, both have been polished to, you know, high degree of quality control. So not only do you have a good die, you have just a mirror piece of planchet working out. The field is shiny and the details are frosty shiny. That's oldies and goodies. Yes, there's another difference too. The modern cameos after 1978, they all have this deep cameo, you know, where what they've done effectively is sandblast. They put a piece of tape across the die, and then this one girl, and she's really good at it. She's been doing it for years. She cuts away the tape to expose the devices, and that includes the letters. Alrighty, and then they treat it by blasting it with a very fine abrasive, and that gives you a bright white feature. You know, the buildings, the letters, mint marks, eagles, flags, whatever you got going on, oak leaves, and the fields are left just like mirrors. Now, these little speckles you see, that's the crystalline structure of the nickel in the metal, in the planchet, and it's nothing to do with the quality of the proof. That's what nickel does when it, you know, turns from liquid to solid. But you got great mirrors on here. Yup. Flash that around some more. Whereas over here in the business strike, well, pretty much the same thing, top to bottom, right? Ain't nothing special about it. They squeeze out 100 billion of darn things, and they need to get them done right now because they need to make some money off it. And this is that mint mark. Let's see if we can get in there. We got this coin from Justin Couch, along with a few others I still got to look at. And my concern, he's got a much better camera than I got, but also I'm kind of shrunk down on my screen here. Let's see how close in we can get to that. But look at the center of the S and look to the bottom of that center. And I'm going to be hard pressed. If you see a little widget just sticking right out. Boy, I can barely get in there with a toothpick. Just below the center of that S. There's a little dot, just a little widget. And if you can see what I can see when I'm not doing what I'm doing, there looks to be a bit more doubling below the bottom of the S. It's not mechanical doubling because that's going, north. Whereas mechanical doubling on this is coming from the northeast headed southwest. And if you don't like that for an example, I got more up here. That's the mechanical. This is not mechanical. So I got that going for me. The field is shiny and the deals are frosty. Yep, bowl, trumpet tail. What's this one? Oh, that doesn't have one. Oh, that's a 47 S, and we compare that S, if you like, to the, let me see if we can find a trumpet tail on the penny now. See the little trumpet, and you get a point on the top. There's a pointy top. This S has a pointy top. Most of your mint marks across the dates will be of similar design. Not every time. There's always exceptions. Oldie says, I got you notice, Ken, now. I don't know what that means. Now let's find the proof. And look at that mint mark. And you see it's grown up by now. Now the serifs are clean and distinct. The mint mark is, big enough you can see it without magnification. And it's a handsome mess. But over time, they change the mint marks. And part of it is to screw up counterfeiters, because you got so many people faking nickels, like that Henning guy. But also so you can tell the difference over the course of the design. If you're good, you can take a penny, and without looking at the date, you can get it narrowed down to a few years. SJ gone to bed? Oh, she's probably watching George getting ready. The chicks, they're going to take the dog to the groomer, but they don't want to be looking bad, so they're going to wash the dog before they take him to the groomer. I bet you she's washing that dog. Okay, so this is 1990S, and it's for sale, of course. I'd have to look up a price. I've got a number of proofs I've got to move out. I'll get rid of the halves first. I picked up some halves for a really good price from the guy downtown. He took all the silver out because he's going to sell that off from melt, and I'm sure there are silver halves in there. I'll set that right there. But I just happened to be there that day. He says, "You want these proofs?" Yeah. How much? $2. I said, "I'll take every one of them." Alrighty. So I've sold some off. I'll sell some more off. Can we find it? There it is. Look at them. And try to get that. You got to speak quietly when you focus because it's very delicate. Let's zoom in some more. Notification, Ken, at 2:38 a.m. from YouTube. I don't know what that means. I got you notice. Notice. Am I in trouble? That might be it. There's Jonathan Raymond. Everybody give up your hands, have a big round of applause. We're just looking at pennies tonight and talking about a spreadsheet. I'll give you the link here in a bit. I bet you I still have it on copy. Control V. Nope. Control V. That failed. Let me come up here. And how come it's not here? I just bookmarked it. It should be here. Oh, man, why is this going to be so hard? It'd be so much easier if you folks just use my computer. When you need to get online, just come over, borrow my computer for a few minutes, do your thing. Okay, link copied to clipboard. And then, wipe it off when you're done. Here's a link to some spreadsheets I've kind of been messing around with. And you can look at those, poke around. I'll be improving it over time. And Saturday, I want to start explaining to people how to use it to keep track of your coins. We can set it up to automatically add, values. You're gonna have to input what you paid and what the value is worth. We'll put that up here. Here's that nickel. But at least give you totals. And you should be able to find maxes. And we'll get, I use Open Office, and that's freeware. So if you can just muddle your way through putting together a spreadsheet, they're pretty darn handy. You'd be surprised how handy they can be. I put my household bills on them. I do a whole lot on them. What's going on with that end? That's damage. Check your dots. Pluribus looks pretty flattened. Okay, throw it in the pile. But the spreadsheets, it's a good, useful item to know how to use. I'm down at the office one day. I work for a contractor part-time now still. Forgot, Ken, just saying I would be late for class if I didn't hear the bell. Sorry, I don't have a bell. That's what I need. I need a bell. Ding ding. That one guy's got a train horn. I'll get me a school bell. There, and I'll be cool. Probably have to get me a hat next too, I suppose. Yeah. Class is in session. Is that what I'm turning into, like the coin professor? Yes, Jay. How to identify proofs from common coins. Oh, we did that. We can go over it again if you like. Because I got more. I got batches of them. I probably got them right here on the table. And this looks pretty normal. Learn how to do a spreadsheet. Good Lord. Went down to the office, had to look at some blueprints and count. I had to count bricks, right? How many bricks does it take to line 300 feet of kiln? Okay, I need this many for the base. I need this many for, this section where we're running Eufaula brick. And up there, we're running, Scamoles on the bottom. And, different type of brick up there. KS4s, of course. All right. But each brick, they get different thicknesses, dimensions, tolerances. I know that we're going to break, we're going to break 1.5% of those on these things. We don't break hardly any at all. So give me 0.5% tolerance on there and we'll have enough bricks for sure. Okay, so I'm counting freaking bricks. Well, I said, this would be so much easier. I just put together a spreadsheet. Boom, we'll have the answers right now. Huh? You can do that? Well, yeah. Every jackhammer, hard hat wearing son of a bitch can run a spreadsheet. That's freaked up. But it's handy. And it can make the difference between getting noticed and just being another hard hat. This looks pretty fucked up there. Yeah, you're allowed to curse on my channel because I'm a little salty. That you start running your mouth too hard, I'll boot you right out myself. And that looks pretty normal. That's a ball serif. See the top of the S? This is a big difference. Let me get in there. That's a ball up at the top. All right, now let's find a trumpet. The trumpet is on the bottom. And I don't know what the hell that is. Sometimes they're so wore out you can't tell the difference. But the sans serif is easy. That's sans serif. It's just an S. And this one has a ball on top. Okay? Now it's that ball that you're looking to find. You see how you're weak? How that ball serif has this very thin, it's gone. How the top is very, very thin on the ball serif. So if that were inverted, and if it wasn't, perfectly up and down, but tilted just a bit, that little thin spot could disappear. So your inverted mint mark looks a lot like this, except there's no part of it on that upper left in this view, which would be the lower right, in the mint mark itself on the inverted. Son of a bitch. I timed it earlier, and I think it was 37 seconds between how long it was from when I set it to when it showed up on the screen. Yeah, Victor said, you just run some private tests, you know, you don't have to show it to everybody. Okay, that's good. So I humiliated myself, but I was the only one who actually saw the humility. So I was able to swallow that humility. So get that going for me. And here's the 1946 squished S variety. They come out of circulation. They're just miserable, some of them. Yeah. So people go through their wheat cents. You know, with their rolls, they're going to pull out a dozen wheat cents out of a $25 box for a night of searching. And they're common date. They're screwed up. They're crapped. And, you know, they're worth 30, 40 cents when you add them up. Hardly worth the effort for all the time, you know, going to pick up the rolls, get them home, pick through them, sort them. I mean, you do a whole lot better. Let's look at that eyelid. You do a whole lot better to find one minor die variety, just one for $1. And that one piece is worth more than all the wheats in the box. We'll look at that under the loop. But they keep grabbing the wheat, so that's okay. You want to grab wheats, I'm all for it. You'll leave more stuff there for me. But some of these varieties, if you find the 1946S inverted mint mark, I mean, you're talking $100 right now. And that'd be something that looks like this with doo-doo on it and scratched up and claw marks and what, you know, just screwed up. Yeah. Doo-doo is 2 O's followed by 2 O's. D-O-O. D-O-O. We had this one dog in the neighborhood, right? This is Ray Ray. Well, we called him Ray, you know, when we got older, but when we were, you know, 6 years old, it's Ray Ray. Ooh, that's crap. Ray Ray had this dog. Now, he had a collie, and I don't know what the name of that was. It was probably Lassie. And that was a good dog. But he had this other mongrel, mangy, beastie, one tooth sticking out kind of dog. And, well, the dog come outside, do his business, then he'd roll around in it. He would roll around in it. Jesus, that's a dumb dog. I'm 6 years old. I know what stupid is. That's a stupid dog. He'd come up. He's all happy. He's got his tongue hanging out. He's coming at you. Going to play with you. No, get away from me, you doo-doo dog. And that was forevermore doo-doo dog. We never called him Doo-Doo Ray. We liked Ray. Ray was one of the gang. Okay, you see this? This is you're going to see this a lot of times. I'm going to back it up and show you a better view. Okay, there you go. That's a good spot. Here's the front, right? Looks like that. And over here, you got the back. Now I'm going to show the back right side up. So I'm going to take the front. I'm going to turn that upside down. Dun, dun, dun. And what do you got here? Right here on the front, you got this section of Lincoln's bust. It's raised. It's got high relief. It takes a lot of metal to fill this, right? So what happens on a lot of the wheats, especially around the O, right? Because that's going to be, I can't show you. Look at your wheat pennies. You got one. That's going to be the thickest part of the shoulder. Let's see if I can do this right. My backwards, no, I want to be this way. There's Lincoln. And that part of the shoulder is the thickest part of that penny. And opposite that thick part where the shoulder is, you have the O and 1. So if it takes all the metal on the other side of the coin, you oftentimes will find a weak strike right up here, around the PLU and on the O and 1. And that's not a grease-filled die. That's just a darn thick design. So now you know. That one's damaged. And you see this kind of thing. Here's a real decent one. Okay, you're getting up towards XF, but that's a big mark on the neck there. And that's VF. How's the back look? Back looks okay. Yeah, it's VF. It's better higher end, but that mark in the throat's going to keep it down. And here you have a nice full strike. Now, Caruza, do we know you, Caruza? Are you new here? I haven't seen your name before. Do you hang around the Coin Up group? About 500 wheats yesterday and found a 1936 DDO number 2. And I guess you do hang around in Coin Up. I'll get over there and check that out. I'm still looking for a 36 DDO number 2. I saw one, I don't know, a year and a half ago on Blue Ridge Silverhound's channel. Ever since I said, I want to get one of those. I want to get one of those. And I got to get a 63 DDO, where the 3 and the date has extra horn in the bottom. All right, that's that one. That one might go into a date roll. So I'm going to put together a bunch of these rolls. This one's just wrecked. This is a train wreck. That's wore out. I mean, it's not too bad off, in person, I'm sure. Yeah, it looks like a regular old circulated wheat. I'm going to get another camera so I can show the whole corn. But you get in close, and there's not much detail. You got some rim racking going on. That one's shot up. But I got to move some wheats. It's a non-performing asset. I got all these pennies I'm not doing anything with. And let's look closer at this date. Let's get them off the table because, damn, that table is just out of hand. All right, what do you make of that thing? I'll give that another look. That's a trumpet tail mint mark, so that upper S should be rather straight, and that should be the end of the S, but I've got some bit over to the side of it. All right, we'll look at that later. I'll compare that with what I can find on Konica or Crawford or Copper Coins or that one with a W. There you go. See how it just stops abruptly and the other one went on? And you found a 92 close AM, D. Okay. And that's a bit of a claim. And if you're going to make a claim, such as that, show me. All right? Because next, you're going to find a 1955 double die under your couch. Yeah, I like it when people find good coins. But when they find, really good coins in succession, I start to think, well, maybe it's just bullshit. But I'll give you the chance. Let's see the picture of that 92D close AM. I mean, you're talking a few $100 on this now. Crazy Maters is showing up. I'm just spending some time cleaning up some coins. I'm going to give you a link here in a second. Let's see if this is still in here. There you go. Putting together a spreadsheet so you can keep track of your coins. It's a checklist, of course. Oh, there's another one here. You got to see how fat that 9 is. I don't know which one it is. I should keep these out better. I just have a stack of them here in the desk. I'll try to go to the bottom. It's got a bit of a broad 9 on it. Just a little bit. Yeah, what do you make of that one? Does that look like extra thickness to you? That's a fat 9 looking thing. Yeah, that's got to be damage. Because I've never seen anything like that before in my life. So anyway, you can check out that spreadsheet I gave you the link to. I'll be improving it over time, of course, putting in mintage figures. But you can do neat things with it. You can, click and drag on a column and total up, how many mintages from 09 to 58 and get an exact number. Justin Morgan and Ken Potter article in Numis News. Perusa, are you that fellow? Oh, I forget his name. I'd have to get on my blog and I could get you the guy's name. If that was you, well done. And on top of that, you got a 36. Yeah, I saw that 92D. It's a peach. If you took $13.50 for it, well done. I'm going to get back over to here. Set that aside and keep on going. See, we got these little names we put up on YouTube, and it's different from the name we see on Facebook. And then when I get it, send a bill through PayPal, it's another name there altogether. Well, I try to do KPV on everything, but then I'm open to, viral attack. Because if they get the password, they're into everything. And that one I'm going to set aside. You see that eyeball, that eyelash, how it kind of keeps being an eyelash? I'll set that up here. And that one's kind of wore up. 1946, the 4 and 6 are always pretty dull, pretty weak strikes. Maybe they're lubing stuff up extra. I think it's the way it came out, the Galvano. Same thing over here. About the same. So anyway, if you say you got a Greg Smith, yes, that is you. Yeah. People put a picture. This is what I found. I found an 1877 Indian head set. And the next day I found a 1909 SVDB. Well, the story got thin at the second one. But the 36s are out there, and I saw that 92 and said, yep, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Greg Smith in front of us. He's an old salt from way back. He's a fellow that found the 1992D close AM and put it up on CoinOp for us to see. And that's written up in Numismatic News. I actually put a little blurb on it on my blog. Well, just a news alert. Now I'll load the blog, but it's going to take forever to actually load because I'm showing pictures of pennies that are wore out. So you got a 36 on top of it. Well done. But you do understand my skepticism. There we go. This one looks okay. And my blog is starting to load. It's only been 10 minutes. See anything here? So I got some fame and notoriety. And you did get it sold, or did you get an offer? Or is that where your asking price is? The struck through grease on the 46. Is it this one you're talking about? Struck through, or is it a previous penny? Oh, I bet you on the 4-6. There you go. No, it's weak letters more than anything else. You'll see a lot of die deterioration, especially on the side of that 6. And here's a penny, or here's a stick. See the side of that 6, how it's blurred right over here on this right side? That's die deterioration where, well, it's just the dies were a bit weaker. Let me catch up here. Rich Callie has joined us. He's got an pretty slick site. Get over there and check that out. And SJ is back. Did you get George cleaned up? Oh, so it's still loading, but maybe I can get in. No, look at this. There's nothing here. All right, I'll tell you what. Here's the blog. Here's a link to my blog. If I can make this work, and just scroll down for like 2 months, or go back a month or two, and you'll be able to find it's a news alert for that 1992. And let me find. Must be September. A friendly challenge, small large date Lincoln cents, coin collecting and social networks, coin video blog and live stream directory, look-see, coin class, trivia update, which reminds me I'm supposed to be doing a trivia video like right now. That's on my list of things to do for the day. And let's see. That didn't go to August. Look in August. Okay. The lighter side of the coin business. A cornwall hunting primer. What is this coin spatula thing? Riders of the Storm. Another checklist. Coin video chat. Let's try August. Okay. Come on. Here it is. News alert. And there's the news alert. I'll give you the link. And you got it sold for $13.50. Nice. You probably made more than all the rest of us combined over the past 6 months. And there's the link where, for the news alert for where Smith found his 92D. and it's a peach. You follow it through, it'll go to the article in Numis News, and he's the proud father of a 92D cam. Yeah, I keep looking for him. I ain't seeing him though. But I did find an 88 with a reverse of 89. It's somewhere on that desk a couple of months ago. That's kind of a neat thing. I'm getting closer on completing my Wham and Cam collection. See something on the bottom of that one? I think we'll stick that one off to the side, look at it later. Eyelid looks good. We'll keep that. But every date has something to find, and a lot of them have more than one thing to find. Alrighty. And what do you see here? You see a ball serif, and it's weak in the lower right. It's okay, Ken. I have a lot of those worn out pennies too, says Crazy Maters. Yeah, good Lord, they're everywhere, aren't they? Okay. To the lower right of that mint mark, if there was nothing there, it would be worth more investigation. But this is not an inverted mint mark. Unless I turn it upside down. How's the back look? Looks pretty decent. Yeah, Greg, if you did a video on that whole coin from start to finish, tell us the story. Every coin has a story. Do a video and tell us where you found it, how you found it, what you did to find it, what your techniques are. Yeah, that's screwed up. Help people find those things because, well, geez, $1,350, good money. I just spent it on horse and blow. But you got a lot of information out there on what to look for. What I'm hoping to get across more is how to look at it, how to look for things. What sorts of things will make it more efficient for a person to hunt through these rolls. I look crooked to you. What's wrong with that ass? Yeah, it's a 6, all right, but that's a frigged up 6. See how round that is? All right, we'll hold that up, look at it later. So I get these pennies, and you can go through them pretty quick, and you can find out, you can pick out the ones that need more attention. I set them aside and keep on going. And when I get the time, I go through the ones that I set aside. But then I get bags of, picks. It's just a bag. Oh, here's one. It's a bag that just says picks. And I don't have any idea what's in there. Might be something, might be nothing. So all the valuable stuff's in these bags. Meanwhile, I got, 100 of these bags of the various dates. And I'm talking 100 of the darn things. Well, you just keep on going. You get through the pennies. I sort mine out. That's one of the things that I do. It helps me because when I go to look for dive varieties, I can do 1 year at a time, like what I'm doing right now. These are all 46S's. I got 4 rolls of them here probably. And just build them up. But I know what to look for when I do the 46S's. I'll check Variety Vista, refresh myself with what I want to look for. What do you got going on here? Damage. And it makes it easier for me to snatch up the ones that are more likely to be a dive variety. Anything here? No. Because when I work a date, I work it, top to bottom. And I want to get those, the better conditioned ones out so I can make some full date rolls. 50 different coin sets. So if you guys want to talk about how you search your rolls, what sort of techniques you employ, if it's as simple as what you do to open up the roll, because my fingers are no good. I use a toothpick to, scratch that paper. We see the one kid, Couch, he rips them open with his fingernails. And I see another guy, he bites the end off with his teeth. No fooling. It's like a hand grenade. Spend it on hoars. Yeah, I spend my money on whores and blow. That's right. Now, really, I get ahead on a few months on my bills, and then I spend the rest on coins. So my bills are paid for a while. I don't have to work. All I got to do is make enough money in the next 6 months to pay my bills for another 6 months. And if I can do that, I'll never work with a man again. But the boss calls up. I've been working as this industrial contractor, since since Jesus come over in the Mayflower. Uh, and there's some jobs they want me on. I mean, they want me on them real bad. I quit. They offer me more money. So I quit again. They offer me more money. Okay. I'm seeing how this works. So I quit several times. And what do you know? They keep paying me more money and bringing me back. Well, now I want to quit, right? I'm old, I'm tired, I'm busted, my back is shot out, I'm grouchy as hell. All the guys in the crew, they get together and they give me a Mother's Day card and everybody signs it. But it's not really Mother's Day. That's crap. But that's a whole lot better than putting on boots and yelling at guys, twice my size. Some of these guys, I mean, they're big. Jesus. You get this fella named Tellis. Tellis is the hardest working son of a bitch you ever met in your life. I mean, the toughest. I'm really quite impressed with him. He's a good guy. Man, you think I got a bad mouth? Good Lord, that guy can curse like a well digger. But he can take a 90-pound jackhammer, throw it over his shoulder, and run up a flight of stairs. No problem. He'll drive it into granite and just rip it apart. Pick up 3-4 big chunks and the job is done, I mean, I pick up the 90-pound jackhammer, I fall over, and I'm losing my breath because, it's crushing. And I start to turn blue, and by then a couple guys come running and they say, "Do you need help?" Yeah, do you need help? This one's about wore up. But he's the toughest working. He will go all day, nonstop. You got to see him go with a shovel. Just, forget it. Get out of his way. Yeah, he's a good fellow, though. But boy, can he curse. And apparently he's got this 3-year-old girl who owns him. Yeah. I mean, this guy weighs, 380 pounds. He's a refrigerator. And this 3-year-old girl owns him. Yeah, family man, I guess. Here's a sans serif mint mark. Yep. You don't want to get Tellis mad at you. He'll ugly you to death. Okay, we got something going on the bottom side of that. And I'll probably want to set that aside. We'll take another look. Might be separation lines. You can only tell so much from this scope. So you really want to get in there with a loupe and check these things out. This one looks all right. Look at the eyeball. There's nothing going on in this one. But another few hours. I figured I'd do one of these bags just to, move through them, get them used up. And this is kind of funky shaped. But judging by the amount of contact damage on the rest of this and the wear on those weed ears, I'm going to say that S is just a result of being squished, by repeated contact. I mean, you take a pile of pennies and you pour them out, bang them against each other all the time. They're going to flatten the details out. Coin Dragon has entered the room. Let's give him a round of applause. Everybody say Norm. Yeah, those 300-pound guys, they're good to have around his friends. Now Tellis, he was in a car wreck years ago. Right, so he's got this, big scar from ear to ear over his head, where they had to, put his head back together. And he says he hasn't been the same since. I mean, it was years ago. And we go work out of town on these jobs, kilns or boilers or dryers or whatever it is. Something big and heavy and noisy and stinking. But the money's good. Well, you get roommates. I smoke, he smokes. We share a room. Okay. So go back to the room. He gets on that phone. He's talking to the daughter. He's talking to the 3-year-old. You can barely understand him. Barely. And, I get on the computer. I do my thing. I roll over. I go to bed because it's a long day the next day, right? No, he sleeps about 2 hours a night. And we work these jobs, 2 months in a row. I got him as my roommate for 2 months, and you don't see him sleep for more than 2 hours at a time. How the hell? How can you operate that way? 2 hours of sleep every night for 30 years? I'd lose my mind. I'd just be out of my brain. I go a week without a nap. I get pretty grouchy. I'm pretty grouchy with a nap. Is my neighbor watching videos? Yeah, probably. Horse videos, donkey videos. There's goats up the road up over here. I come in I take the turn up here by Sugarcane Place, and there's this horse. And I roll down the window and said, "Hello, horse." And the horse goes, "Bah." Anyway, I get to the next fence, and there's another horse. And I said, "Hello, other horse." And he says to me, they're talking horses. Okay, look at this. This is what you're looking for. We have, no, that's a trumpet tail mint mark. You see how weak it is on the top? If that was an inverted, and that weak area was nothing on the bottom, I mean, no hint of a mint mark, none, then it would be definitely something to check out. But these mint marks, see, when they punch them in, they used to do them by hand. I mean, the guy had a hammer, and it would literally light up this steel piece and hammer it into the die. That's how they punched them into the die. So they'd make the die, like in Philly or someplace, and then mail them out. And they'd open up their packages. Oh, good, we have our, San Francisco mints, and they got to put their own mark into it. And if that doesn't go in exactly straight up and down, well, you're going to have a soft spot, a weak spot. So it'll be deep on one side and weak on the other, because, it's like this. But it's supposed to be like that. And that's how you end up with, these missing areas. And go back to, 1850, they did it with a date. So you got repunched dates back then. And this looks pretty normal. The cone has showed up. Hey, what kind of mint mark would you show this one? This is a quiz for, this is Ryan DeCone. He's the one I was bad-mouthing just a few minutes ago. Never mind that. Don't say a word. Okay, what kind of mint mark would you say is this one on a 1946S? That is a trumpet tail. And we'll look at the next one. How about this one? That's a no serif or sans serif. So that's one. That's two. Nope. Where's two? There's two. And the third one, I don't know, maybe this is a good one. And that one is another sans serif. You got 3 mint marks you got to work with on 1946. If you want a complete collection, you got to have them all. And that is a trumpet tail. Two of them got a ball. What's this one? I don't know what it is. That's a trumpet. And we're showing that up. That's sans serif. Apparently, they're pretty popular. Maybe your sack has more of one kind. And that's a sand. Okay, you get the idea. There's 3 kinds of mint marks to hunt down on this year. And I'll just keep on going. You see how the tail of that is kind of goes up gradual. It's not a big fat ball. And it has something, so it's not a sans serif. And we'll keep looking at all these. I'm not seeing much here. Good morning, says SJ. We found an inverted S mint mark on a Weedy once. I found 3. I even marked them. Then I went back and looked at them, after a while and said, this ain't freaking inverted. All right, what's going on in this one? I think it's just squished. There's no real distortion on the top of that. But I got this central line. Yeah, I'm thinking that's been kind of pounded down. And that edge is the fold of the top. But we'll look at that with a loop later. So anyway, if you think you have a 46 inverted mint mark, by all means, mark it and hold it off to the side and find out what makes that inverted mint mark exactly what it is. You'll have die markers. Now these coins are too darn burnt up. Let me get a decent one here. Oh, what's that? Here's a 1960 small date. Make sure there's no dust on there. Alrighty. And if we can find some die markers. There's that 1960 small date. Now, every die that they make has like a fingerprint on it. And it's going to leave that fingerprint, unlike me, I see I got my gloves on. It's going to leave that fingerprint on the coin, on every coin that is used or that is squeezed out of it. And let's see if we can find some of these die markers. And you'll need to get right in tight and close to see some of these. A lot of times it's just the direction of the polish lines, because over time, you know, the die's going to pick up some marks, and they'll dress it up. They take a grinder to it, very fine grit, and clean it up. Okay, here we go. And it will leave lines. So that inverted mint mark, that's specific to that die, because those mint marks are punched in to that die. There we go. So any other markers that'll be on that die along with the mint mark, you'd have to look for that to verify that it is an inverted mint mark. Now, I swear I saw something, so let's go try to find it again. Here you go. See below the F? Find my stick, get it in that little space, because I'm just about down onto the coin here. I can't find the F. We've got a die scratch right below that F. Okay, over here, if I can get over there, you've got some die scratches between the A and the M and the E. See the directions on those? Now look at the shadow under the toothpick, and you'll be able to see those lines. Every die will have some sort of identifier mark. Might be just a tiny gouge, looks like a pinprick. Might be these die scratches. Okay. Might be die cracks, for example, die chips. I got that 1957 DDO number 1, and one of the markers there is a die chip in the B. Okay, and you can use those markers if you've got a good list of them to positively identify that coin as whatever it is you say it is. So check those. It's the same as effectively checking your bookmarks when you do an essay. Oh, this one's just about flat. How's this? Does he have a face? It's a man without a face. No, nothing there. LOL, he didn't even give me 2 seconds. Oh, what do you need? I'll give you 2 seconds. Okay, time's up. That's all you get. There's another one. And that's a trumpet tail. Let me scroll through these comments for just a minute. SJ wonders what happened. Okay, first, the earth cooled. And then the dinosaurs came, but they got too big and fat, and they died and turned into oil. Then the Arabs came, and they bought Mercedes-Benzes. And I did a lot of drinking since then, so I kind of missed out the rest. Professor Peavy, is this a late night class or an early? This is, depends on where you live. Get some coffee, and we'll do a marathon. Yeah, that'll be it. Do like a 72-hour marathon live stream. Just stay on. I'll get Telus. I'll call him up. He'll come over. He'll keep me up. Chad. Who's Chad? I see a Chad. Jonathan Raymond has joined us. I missed the line there. Talk to you later. Got to head to work now. Hey, stay safe. I think his neighbor is watching videos again. You can't see a neighbor from my house. Actually, I can see when the wind is blowing right over here. And around this time of year, I can start to, because the leaves kind of dry up and get smaller. But they fall in the spring. It's a laurel forest here. But if I look over here and the wind is blowing just right, sometimes I can see a light in the driveway of my neighbor's house. And it's like this big. You know, It's like that big. It's kind of nice out here. Nobody bothers me. And if they were to bother me, I'd see the headlights 2 minutes before they get here, and I'd just start shooting. Well, hell's bells. Oh, what happened? Nothing. Sorry, I'm not feeling too hot. Well, get some Ovaltine. Now, that was because his feed was clocking again. My feed's going to do that. And this is late at night when nobody is up except me. And I'm probably loading too much other stuff here. Okay, Mater says, that's my problem. I think I found something, but the coin is too worn to see them. We'll put them up in Coin Op. That's all I can tell you for now. We'll take a look at them one day. Those tiny gouges Wexler's has as markers wear out fast. Yes, they do. Coin Dragon. You're going to find these die markers over time as these dies are continually used. Cracks, for example, you see them widen. You know, they'll start to pick up a chip here and there. Sometimes you'll see them disappear altogether, where they replace a reverse die and your variety's on the front. That's kind of a neat thing because, geez, you know, now what? You'll see chips grow, you know, more pieces break off. You'll see cuds form, and sometimes they totally disappear. But there are stages that these dies go through. The early stages, a lot of times they don't have any polishing marks. So if you're clean, if your coin is, you know, clean, in that it doesn't have any polishing marks, it's probably an early stage. By the time it gets to stage C, I mean, it's half scoured. It's got no FG. His ear looks flat, got half a bow tie. And that's the sort of thing that happens over the course of the life of the die. You know, you see your fingerprints. Rub your fingerprint on a belt sander for a while. It's going to change your fingerprint. Probably make it red. You know, self-inking. Time to head off. Okay, good night, Ludes. Thanks for stopping in. You know the drill. We'll do it again. Okay, I'm going to get back to this because I don't have... Wait a minute. Is this the end of it? Yeah, this is the end of the bag. Only got another 20 or so to go. Oh boy, I'm so excited. Because then I got, you know, 30 more dates to work. And after that, then I'll put together some rolls. I'll put together some sets, you know, 1940 to, or 1941 to 1958 with the PD and S. And I put them up, you know, for sale, and boom, they were gone. Gone, just that fast. All right, I'll need to up the price because they were gone so fast it didn't make sense. And that's back, I'm kind of hadn't been selling in a while, didn't quite understand, oh, well, geez, you know, 2 rolls. Now I'm losing money on postage, and all these guys want 3 rolls. I'll take 3, please. 3 rolls? I got to bump it up to priority mail. I take a loss on the darn things. So, all right, let's review all the mail because the shipping rates have gone up in the past few years when I've been doing nothing except working for the man. What's wrong with that S? That looks awfully fat and squished. And the rest of it looks okay. A lot of folks will take a look and they say, oh, this letter, that's doubled. Was that the only thing doubled? And in this case, yes. So I'm going to throw that in this pile. Okay. Here's a sans serif. Looks pretty good. Nice, sharp, full strike. This is probably an early die stage. Over time, that'll, you know, fill in and bleed out and get corroded and worn and busted and deteriorated. That's the word. All right. These look a bit thicker. See that U? The vertical height of the bottom of the U? That's rather thick. The E looks good. I look for these, you know, these swoops where it, you know, instead of a straight line, it has a hook in, especially in the bottom of the E on the right side. You'll see some stuff there. Let's look at Liberty. There it is. Oh, wow. Okay, you see that? Get a piece of paper exactly like this one, right? Square. And you can hold that up. I can't show you this. How you can hold this up to that letter. In particular, hold it up to the back of the E. Right? Now, normally it'd be straight. That's what the piece of paper for is to see is that straight, or is there, you know, kind of a bow? Does it have horns on the top and bottom? And this one kind of looks like it. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to put it in the look at it again later file. That's the kind of thing I like to find. How's this one look? Good and sharp, mostly full. Mint mark looks fine. Eyeball is good. Trust, you can see the difference now, and that's a much thinner U. And no real swooping in the back of the E. And it's filthy. That'll go in the junk pile. You can't change your fingerprint. No, you can't do that, and neither can the die. And the die has a fingerprint, but also the coin has a fingerprint. Our digital technology, right? Here at Muppet Labs, you can take a picture of a coin and identify it, you know, 5 years and 1,000 miles later after being sold 15 times by those little marks on that coin. Because as the coin is circulated, it's going to develop these certain characteristics that are not found on any other coin. That big gouge in his head, for example, that mark on the rim between D and W, that's going to be with his coin until it's worn down to about good. So it should be possible to put together a photographic database of your coins. Now, this is a tough one because if you follow the logic, PCGS just became obsolete, wouldn't you say? I can take a picture of my coin. I don't have to slab it. I take a picture, and I put the picture in a database. All right. Now, instead of slabbing it, I can certify it and take pictures. So now, instead of spending, you know, $80 to have it slabbed, all you can do is send the pictures of the coin. We'll grade it, we'll certify it, and we'll put the pictures in the database. Then, you ready? I can run that picture through every other coin in the database to verify that it's not a repeat. Because no other coin will have that mark on the rim in quite this order, right up in here. See that? That's unique to this penny, to this coin, and no others. And no other coin is going to have, oh, let's see, that particular mark behind his eye, right? Or this mark, or this pattern of marks on the what is that, a collar? So if you can certify coins with a photographic registry, this will scare the hell out of PCGS. They'll have to jump on the bandwagon. Yeah, it's forensics, exactly right. And, oh, you can get right into it. Oh, looky here. You see that O? I can't really get much more focus or zoom in on this anymore. I'm right at my limit. Does that look round to you? No, it doesn't. That's what you say. No. Why, of course not. Does this look round to you? Does this dress make me look fat? No. Okay, this one looks okay. I got some weird thing above the L, but you see that dark shadow above that weird thing? That tells me that's probably a scratch. But the base of the L looks a little thicker. The U bottom looks a little bit thicker. If I had some liquor, I'd be drunker than a vicar. And this looks pretty good over here, but that dot does not look quite round. So I'm going to look at that under a loop. Getting down about 9 coins here. And this is number 9. Sans serif, kind of funky, got some doodle on it. Not the best coin. Eyeball looks normal. That looks normal. This looks normal. Nothing to see here, folks. And how about the back? And that's just shot out. Bye-bye. That 9 looks a bit thicker than it should be, and something going on the left of that S on the top. And that looks like it really wants to get some attention. Let's look over here real quick. Those look straight up and down. Oh, and you want to look at your L and your I and a lot of your wheats. Very subtle dips on the top and little tits on the bottom. are going to be flags that say, check me out further. I'm going to look at that mint mark again. That's probably going to be damaged. You see the light coloring, the difference in color on that side of the S? Now you're going to find that's probably damage, which is flatten it out. But we're going to give that another look anyway, because it's a good flag. You finally find, oh, it's about time. I don't know her name. She's okay, but keep your hands and fingers away from her mouth, and you'll be safe. Yeah, I'm kind of doing the same thing here in a live stream that we do on Madison's Hangouts. We look at pennies, we talk about them, I sell stuff, I tell jokes, sometimes I sing and dance. But you're glad it's not that night, because I'm not a very good singer. I usually hurt myself when I dance. And this one's kind of junky and crowed it up. Let's look at the date. Looks normal to me. No big swoops. The bottom leg of the R is kind of questionable. But judging by the rest of this, okay. We'll put that in a bye-bye pile. Maybe you'll find something if you buy my weeds. Oh, you got some green. It's not easy being green. On the camera, you see, in real life, this is green. I mean, green like Kermit the Frog. I get a squished up 9. That's a trumpet tail. And okay on the eyeball. Check the Liberty. See, I'm also checking for buy errors, not just swoops and double dies, because there's everything in these. Look at those dots. Where's the dots? There is no dot. Bye-bye. Yeah, much below fine. Any sort of die variety gets tough. All right, see the U, how thick that is? That looks a bit thicker. All right, here's a good marker. You see the W? How the triangles in the top of the W, well, they barely go halfway down. That's my pointy stick. They barely go halfway down. That's usually an indicator of, perhaps some lateral shifting in the hubbing. So we want to give that a look. But the N, as you can see, those triangles look well separated. But in the W, not so much. We'll give it a look. And what was that? That's his neck. Huh. Alrighty. We'll set that aside. I'll give that mint mark another look anyway. Dance. Okay. That's it. That's all you get. I think I hurt myself. Now, I Spy Nasalise. I don't know what your real name is. She just kind of started, looking at pennies and coins and nickels and dimes and stuff. So give her a big round of applause for trying. And you'll see there's a lot of stuff out there that can be found. Some of it's pretty valuable. We had a fellow on earlier. Actually, he's one up above you. He found a penny. It's a 1992D with a interesting reverse. Has no space between the A and the M in America. And he just sold that for $1,350. So maybe that's something to think about. They are out there. You see me say this all the time. They are out there. That looks normal. You never know what you're going to get, so check every one. But sometimes when they're so screwed up, they're not really worth checking. This looks okay, but nothing there. Life is like a box of pennies. You never know what you're going to get. Oh, wow, we got some doo-doo here. All right, that's not even copper rod. What is that, a piece of rope? I think it's string or thread or rope or carpet or I don't know what that is. Yeah, you go through enough pennies, you're going to have everything in the world in your house. If you have any problems with germs or OCD or paranoia, this is not the hobby for you. I guarantee it. They come in there sticky. I had just one set of pennies were stinky. I mean, smelly pennies. That's the worst, you know, the smelly ones. I mean, I've had some smelly pennies before, but these, I mean, you know, was it in the basement and the septic burnt out or something and the place flooded with doo-doo? Because damn, those were some smelly pennies. And nobody likes the smelly pennies. They were the smelliest. Good thing I had pants on. I don't always have pants on. Usually I lose them. Ladies, if I have left any pants at your house, let me know. I'll come back and pick them up. Or I'll come over and leave them there again. Whatever it takes. Service is my business. Let's see. I'm not saying anything on this one. I got some slappy, bumpity. That's chewed up. Yeah. No, actually, I wear shorts. I live in Florida. I moved down here because the snow shoveling was so much easier. I mean, come on. I haven't seen snow since I got here. Well, actually, I did. I went back and stayed with my sister. I stayed with my sister for 3 weeks, right? And mostly I'm just lying on the couch watching TV, taking naps and drinking beer. It was wonderful. This is, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, what year was that? 8, 9 years, 9 years ago? Anyway, I'm hanging around on our couch for 3 weeks. I play games with the kids. I make supper. I watch TV. I nap. Now, what was the point of the story? I forgot. Okay, let's see. I was sitting on the couch, floating around doing nothing. Oh, yeah. And I'm there for 3 weeks. Now, it's my mother's birthday, you know. She comes up. That's why, you know, part of the reason I went to visit. Take mother out, show her a good time. You know, let's throw a burger down her throat. Cake and ice cream and all that stuff. And, you know, she got to kiss all the nephews. Of course, I don't have any. Well, I got nephews, but she didn't kiss none of my kids, which is good. Because if she did, I'd be really nervous. Anyway, it's 2 days to go till Thanksgiving. Oh, I'm so glad you're going to be here for Thanksgiving. And then it started to snow. I got my shit, threw it in the back of my truck, and I drove south. You can't leave. Why not? It's 2 days to Thanksgiving. I'm out of here. I had Thanksgiving with my brother down here in Florida. That's how much I don't need the snow no more. I had Thanksgiving with her a little while later. So I live in Florida. I don't wear pants. I barely wear. I don't like to wear shoes. All right. These are my shoes. They're not really shoes. It's like enough of a shoe that your foot is, that it's going to hold onto your foot. That's the whole purpose of that. It's not meant to, be shiny, be fancy. I don't stick pennies in them. Okay, now I got to put these up in a. Oh, I got these little bags. Where are they? They're here somewhere. What are they? I do this every time I hunt for them. All I do is hunt for stuff that I should have a place for. All right. I got a box of them. What's this? Oh, here they are. I got the little bags. 2 inches. Oh, and if you need some bags, just let me know. I'll get your price. These are the ones I use, the slabs. All right. They're like 7 cents a piece, but they're really nice. And these are the 2 inches. And they're too small to fit a 2x2. All right, I'll have to get a bigger size. For that, I need like a 2 1/4 inch. And I think these bags are a different size, and I'll probably save those later because I am that cheap. But I can take those. I got the little slips of paper. I'll write it down. I'll put these in there, and these are my 1946 picks. And one day I'll get some ambition, and I'll pick through those. But I got these separated from the main batch. The main batch, I'll just do whatever I like with those. And you keep distilling these things down little by little until you got everything you need in the right place, in the right order. Let me mark this up here. 1946 S picks. There you go. so I can get the bulk moved out of here. I'll worry about the little stuff when I worry about that. Coin Dragon says, I predicted back in August that it would be September. No. We're going to have a rotten winter this year. Rotten. And think positive. Can't it with the negative waves. Now the TV stations are finally catching up. My grandmother knew. She'd say, my gout is bothering me. We're going to have a cold winter. It's like the weather gout. You know, if her neck was this big, it's going to be a cold winter. If her neck was like a tire, it's going to be a warm winter. So the pressure, I guess. How big's your grandmother's neck this year? Oh man, it's like a truck tire. All right, I'm going to cut back on the wood. Yep. How's your grandmother? She looks good. I better buy more oil. No, well, sometimes I wear socks. But when it's that time of the year, when I have to wear socks, we got these things called Spanish needles out there. So I come back in, I got these little, these little things all stuck all over the socks. They just, like 2 prongs. Yeah. So I just stay inside the house. It's too cold out there anyway. I really should move to like Venice or Key West or, I don't know, what's south of there? Aruba? Looks like I've got a bag of 47s here. Well, look at these, the same as everything else. Anything wrong with that? I'm going to find my notes. I got notes, right? Here they are. Yeah. Now this is, if you're going to study, right? Take notes. So I can go through and find, well, I don't have number 1947. What do I have there that I have notes on? Okay, 47S. What's this one? 48. 48Ds. 47Ds. 49Ds. 49S. Well, let's face it, the late 40s were a quiet time. That's why I have these still, right? The more exciting years, like, say, 1955S, you find a lot more stuff. So I've got notes for those. These, we'll just wing it. Anyway, keep notes, right? You can go through and I'll say this is for 1998, right? I know what to look for in 1998. I got whams, of course. There's a DDR on the statue. There's a DDR with EPU at the lower left, memorial base, and extra columns in Bay 11 and memorial floor. And so that's what I'm looking for. Then Wexler's got 29 DDRs listed. Copper Coins has 12. Variety Vista has 9. Crawford has 8, and that's just 1998. But keep your notes together. I'll get these done right and take pictures, and I'll sell them babies off. They'll sell. You watch. I'll make a fortune. I'll buy that place down in St. Kitts. So, Coin Dragon, it's your back that tells you the weather. No, my grandmother was the gout. Yep, it's like, geez. This is what a rainy day looks like. If I can make this work. She come running in the house. It's gonna rain! And you believed her. And in those days she didn't have a neck, you better put on rubber boots, man. And she had a big toe, she'd tell about the lightning. Oh, shut the windows up, it's gonna have a lightning storm. My other grandmother, she just stayed inside. You kids go outside and pick up that trash. Yeah, she had it figured out. You boys go outside and play. Yeah, okay, Grandma. That looks kind of big. That's probably just a good sharp strike. I don't see anything sticking out on this one. Yeah, we had a lot of grandmothers back then. Let's see. I mean, they all lived to, like 100. My one grandmother died young. She was only 84. No, wait. Mammy. There was Mamie, Mammy, Nanny, Nana. And who else? There must have been, okay, my father's mother. That was Nana. My mother's mother was Mamie. Her mother was Mammy. Okay, then Grampy's mother was Nanny. My father's side was Nana, and her mother was Grammy's family. Anyway, they were all over the place. It was a sea of gray. You know, they stand up, take a picture, and you couldn't tell where they ended and the sky began because of all the blue hair. Yeah, I mean blue. Give me something blue. Blue. This is what I'm going to look like this is what my sister's going to look like when she's old. Blue. Blue like the sky is. And that's the way it works, right? It's just, their hair. Alrighty. Except for one grandmother. I get my hairline from her. That looks okay. There were a lot of characters back then. Now, my one grandmother, she was in a nursing home. And this one looks a bit weird. Take a look at the way the E, hold up your piece of paper to the screen and tell me if that's a straight line on the E and on the B and on the I. You see that hook? Well, let's do it. See the hook on the top left of those letters? This one says it wants to be looked at because those are usually real straight. And here I've got hooks. Let's give it more looking. Okay, the 9 may be a bit thick. 7 looks okay. Follow it around. And I look at underneath the T, the cross of the T. Look underneath that. These look pretty good. The E looks pretty straight. Look at the eyeball here. That looks all right. But over here in Liberty, a bit of a swoop on those letters. Just kind of turns. I'm going to keep that aside. We're going to look at that. That'll go my 1947 pick bag. All right, what was the story I was telling? I got sidetracked. Oh yeah, so she's in a nursing home, and well, she's 98 years old. I mean, come on. She couldn't see, she couldn't take care of herself. Her cooking wasn't any good. Anyway, we don't really know why she survived that long. Yeah, but she couldn't take care of herself. Couldn't get around. But let me tell you, she could still fuck like hell. But she eventually passed away. But I got to know some of these other girls at the nursing home, right? And, well, geez, there's an Alzheimer's girl. They got one foot in the grave, and they want to meet a man for one last fling before they go. All right. I'm your man, right? So there's one girl, she got her husband's inheritance, first off. Pensions a whole bit. Misses nothing. And she got Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's? Well, this is perfect for me. No guilt. I finish her off. I go in the bathroom, clean up. I come out. She says, "Who are you?" "Well, I'm just here to take out the trash, man." I'm on about my way. Then there's the lady with cancer. Not a hair on her body. Man, she was smooth, silky. But the best one of them all, what's that one? The best one of them all was the Parkinson's woman. She was a hell of a ride. Yeah, that's how I pick up chicks at the geriatric center. I developed that as a stand-up act over many years. My nephew opened a bar up in Port Orange. I had him roaring with that one. Oh, really? I get a million of them. SJ's gone to bed. I can't blame you. The jokes are getting pretty low. Oh, that's gone. All right, we got some MD under there. Now, what do you do if you find something that you want to keep and you get this going on? Send it away. That is a darn shame. Okay, this looks about right. This big scratch. Send him away. Peace? Where'd you get the peace symbol? How come I don't have a peace symbol? Never give me a peace symbol. I go to the bank with my brother, right? I go to the bank, I make a deposit, I come home. Go with my brother, they give him four lollipops. They don't give me lollipops. How come I don't get lollipops? They always give you lollipops? Because they never give me lollipops. See the swoop on the E and the B and the I? I'm going to keep this one up too. He says, open up that glove compartment. So I open up the glove compartment, and it's like a waterfall of these lollipops falling out. I'm thinking, how often do you go to the bank? You get paid once a week. You ever clean out your truck? But then I realized, they're giving him lollipops every single time. It's the same bank. They said, hi, Ken. Hi, George. And they give him lollipops. So we had a class action lawsuit. I'm going to get my money out of them one way or the other. That's a true story. True story. You think I make this stuff up? No, you can't. You can't make up this stuff. Is that a second eye? An inch to the right of the first eye? No, that's just discoloration. So I got these wheats and I got to sell them, right? I'm not going to give them away. I might give a few away. But I need to recover the money I put into them. And I got, a few $100 to do them. And right now they're just a non-performing asset. Yeah, it looks okay. So I'll put together, packages of decent ones. However many in a row. 50 different. And sell them off that way. So if you need some, if you're looking for them, I got a email address up here. Just let me know what you're looking for. If you want specific dates, I probably got them. We'll put together some, some books, some albums. I could probably help you out. What you got here? Well, this doesn't do good. You see how this one has these curls on the back of the B and the E? Well, I got a couple more I just picked out, right? Yeah, I'll have to look at a more standard photo. One of the first clues that you didn't find a rare coin is when you find 6 of these. It kind of gives it away. That's not rare. You get 6. But every now and then, you do find a bunch. I got 17 of those double die 57s. 17 of them. I got one on the coin op group right now for $7. You ought to see it. It's beautiful. Actually, I can probably pull it out right now. Should be right here. Yeah, I had to put it in a cardboard flip because I frigged up every last one of the vinyls I had. This is that 1957. I think we looked at it yesterday, and it was here on the desk. So I figured as long as it's here, I may as well sell it. So I took some pictures and put it up in the coin op group. And this guy's for sale for $7. And you can see some extra thickness on the date. It's moderate up here, and you see the triangles on the W don't extend all the way deep as they do in the N. And over here on the Liberty, and this is pretty close to as much as I can offer magnification. You've got the die chip in the bottom of the B, which is one of the major markers for a later die stage. And if you look at the R, T, and the Y, on the left sides, you see doubling and separation lines all the way through there. And that is Konica double die of verse number 1. And the eyeball looks sound. And the big fat 7. And if you can look at the 9, you'll see a bit of a separation line on that 9. And it's kind of mild, so it's a little tough to show on this camera. I think you can just get a glimpse of it there. But $7, that baby is cherry. Cherry! Let's back up and look at that. And this camera really isn't good for color. But let's see if we can get some view, some idea of the luster involved in this handsome one. And there are some contact marks. They're just surface marks. There's no depth to them. And you'll have that, of course. And I've got this just listed as brilliant uncirculated. That was a nice little nest. I'm not understanding nest. But the luster on this is original. It is full cartwheel. You can see it just bounce around when I flip that coin left and right. Now, if it hasn't been sold yet, just let me know you want it. If you can't get into the Coin App group, get a hold of me at kpv@live.com because I got plenty more. And $7 for that coin, you'll find it a pretty darn fair price. How many do you want? I mean, I've seen them going for 8 to 10, but geez, I got a windfall of 17 of the darn things. Let's move them out. $7 ain't bad. And I've got I've got the plastic flips coming tomorrow. According to UPS and their latest tracking results, they're on the way. And I hope they get here fast because I got a lot of stuff to stick in them. I got a bunch of people I got to ship it out tomorrow. So box comes in, I'm going to count them out and pack more and send them out. And then I'll probably order more. Okay, we're going to take a 5-minute recess because it is 1 o'clock and that's my pee time. Be right back. All right, here, you can look at this penny for a little bit. Alrighty, let's get some coffee because we got a lot of pennies to go through tonight, guys. Ispy, you still here? I think her name is Candy. Candy, you still here? She might be. She might be off with Ryan hanging out on Google. It's kind of like a video chat. It's fun, but it slows down after a little while, and I got a problem with the noise. I think it's the reason my noise is so screwed up on that other live stream. Let's see what we got. Now this is the kind of thing I would put in a 50 different date roll. Yeah, that looks all right. All right. And I'm not saying much for varieties. The 9 and the 4 are what I'm looking for more than anything else. I'd check out the eyeball because I've gotten used to checking those eyeballs. And check them. You'll find a lot of double dies just to have an extra eyelid. I really should just check on what's going on there. That looks straight and round on the dot to you. Let's get in there on that dot and take a look. Silence while we zoom in. Silence is a very quiet operation. Must not make any noise. That looks a bit distended. Now, has it been damaged and squished from one direction to give it a flat appearance? The bottom of the L looks possibly a bit thicker. The E looks like, you see the stripes on the E? That looks like contact, and that dot looks pretty good. But over on this side, I've got a kind of a fatness on the bottom of that second U, and a not round dot. We're going to look at that one, okay? I was in room with her. Are you that goofball guy? This is one guy in Ryan's hangout. He's just a trip. You'd swear he licked a whole book of LSD, put one in his pocket and it started raining. Something is wrong with him. It's just too damaged, this one. He's hilarious, so yeah, that one just shot up. So what do you guys collect mostly? Is it pennies, nickels, quarters, halves, dimes? Did I call that one? Twos, threes, halves, wheats. Now, if there's wheat you're looking for, you let me know. I can take pictures. I had this one guy. A lot of people, they send me a list, and I try to get to them, but of course, they send me 10 lists. I lose 9 of them. But people send me a list of the pennies that they want. I offer pretty good package deals, Take them all, here's the price. Hey, what do you got here? You know what that is, don't you? Yes, it is. I'm going to zoom up. Okay. So just give me a list of the wheats that you're looking for. I'll compare with what I have. And let me know if you want, entry level, whole fillers, if you want to step up. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a decent one. Step up to something reasonable, like fine to very fine, or better grades. Or if you just want, just the finest of the finest. We've got a series of parallel cracks going across the coin. You see, they're all right about 45 degrees. I've got one up here at the head. I've got another series down here at the neck. Just below that, another series. And these extend, halfway across the coin. And several in the vest. Again, they're all parallel. The only thing I'm doing, I can put that flat and I can roll that toothpick across it and they won't be out of line. See that? They're all parallel. That is a sign of lamination. Who has ever made a cake dough or a pie crust, right? You take a rolling pin and you roll that dough. That's how the copper is prepared. They start with a bar of copper and then they kind of flatten it, and then they roll it back and forth and back and forth. And they take the whole thing and roll it probably 10 times. They're steadily reducing the thickness of it. But what it does, any imperfections in that copper are going to start to show up, especially at the end, because it's been stretched and elongated to such an extent that any of these imperfections are going to be all in a straight line. And that's what's going on with these laminations. Now, I talked about this. You get woodies in the same way. And that's also a plancha flaw with improper alloy. And what's happening is you got something in there that is keeping it from bonding to itself. Now, the copper will pick it, grab a hold of copper real easy. But there's some things it doesn't grab a hold of, calcium, for example, or phosphorus. You get some of that in the mix, and it doesn't need to be much, just a tiny amount. But you're going to have some copper crystals which don't adhere to other copper crystals, and quite simply because there's something in the way. So you end up with a lamination where it seems like a copper sheet on top of that plancha when it should be a solid piece of copper. And over time, that little bit of a sheet, that little lamination will peel up just like this. And this is what you end up with. Now let's look at the back and see what we got there. Here you can see that some of the copper has actually jumped right off. And so you have these voids. But again, they're parallel. I thought I saw another section where it was jumped off. Here we go. And this is ideal. That's it. You're going to see this design, this pattern, where it's peeled off. It's rectangular in nature. It's parallel with all the other laminations, and you do have some cross hatching involved in there. That's the way the copper works. Let's look at the back of that. Hi, SJ says, I need to check you out. I'm new to Coin World like late night. We are the late night coin people. Have you coffee, John Bass? Because you're going to need a lot of it, man. We don't stop. This one is scheduled for a 48-hour marathon, I think. That's what we can do. And the back looks okay, but that's a decent lamination. Yeah, So we'll take a premium, maybe $1, right? You get a whole bunch of wheats, you pay 3 or 4 cents a piece. You pick through them, you get your good dates, you get rid of the junk, and sometimes you find stuff like this, and it's good for $1. Well, you know, if you get 30 or 40 good coins out of that 5,000 bag, it can pay for the whole darn thing. That's kind of gross right there. But this will help pay for that whole bag, and the rest of them, sell them up or as much as I paid. Now what I'm doing right now is just going through the same date of a bunch of pennies, John. That's it. I'll end up putting these in the rolls later. In the meantime, we tell stories and such. And there's 9 folks around. Everybody here, smash that like button. And tell me how many likes we got, because I can't see. 2 hours we've been going? Anything in the back? Back looks pretty good. The dots look straight. The S is kind of squished. Those S's are always the first thing to get flattened out. And they're going to show up as looking the widest because, well, it's a curve. An N or an M, they're straight line. But the curves tend to show the difference in thickness a whole lot more. And this coin is nothing special to write home about. What do you got in this one? About the same. Rim's good. Decent strike. And if I'm going too fast for the coins, just say the word. I won't hear you, but I might see you. And we get some crap over here. Yeah. So I don't clean these things. So somebody will get that coin just like that with all the crap. Maybe there's something under it worth looking at, but I'm not going to get there. Ain't worth my time. This looks pretty good. Now I adjusted my frames per second, by the way, down to 20 frames a second. If that's improving the situation with lagging, let me know, because we're going to lag no matter what. And what do we got up here? And a minor cud. I think that might be too minor. Let's look at it, maybe it's a fin. Yeah, we'll set that aside and look at it. I don't think it's much of a cut if it is. What do we got here? Oh, it's a 1947. Surprise. What was that same doo-doo? A lot of times these coins will travel together. Oh, that's what we might have here. Right there between the I and the B and Liberty, got a little hook coming off the bottom of the B. Now that might be debris, but it could quite easily be. There it is. Okay, I see. You see, I'm thinking by error, but then I look and I see these little bite marks across the bottom here. Okay, let's look at the easy answer. The size, texture, width, thickness is consistent with that bit beside the B with all these. So without looking at it any further, I can tell you without a doubt this is damage at the B, same as the rest of this. Well, it's too bad. I'd like to find a 1947 buy. Oh, the dead pile for that one. Yeah, he looks just fine. How's the eyeball? He's good. Come up here, trust. If you got questions, John or Lee or anybody else who's on, just ask them. I'm sure I can come up with something for you. I can't look at your pictures while I'm doing this, but I can probably answer your questions. The back of this looks pretty decent. Full lines. The U's round, but it seems a little distended to one direction. Do we want to keep this out and take another look? This U looks okay. Maybe a little thick in that PLU. And the lines are probably all right. That's a good XF. That's not too bad for a 47. Yeah, that's respectable. That'll go in a book. I'll set that up here. So I'm figuring, oh, that one's ruined. I'm not even going to bother with that one anymore. You know, I want to do more live streaming, and I like the coin class on Saturday morning. But if I'm farting around doing next to nothing late at night, well, nobody else is live streaming. I'll keep the community going, talking, and look at pennies, and maybe we'll learn something in the meantime. That one's okay, but it's got some marks. How you look. Now, what do you guys look at? How do you look? What do you do when you're looking? Because what I want to know, what I really want to know is what sort of process have you put together for going through a box of pennies? What are your procedures? Now, I spelled mine out pretty well, but I'm always open to suggestions. That's a filthy spot. I think that's ink. Now, there's ways you can shave, 5% of the time on a box of pennies. Well, you run that over a course of a year, that's a lot more pennies you can search. I mean, if you're doing, I do maybe a box a month because I get right down, with a loop. But a lot of people, they do, a box of pennies a day. Yeah, you can do that, but you're not going to find everything, and you're not going to find a lot of things. You can pick out your wheats, maybe you can look for whams, maybe you can check 72 double dies, but a lot of stuff's going to be missed just because you're not taking the time to look. Well, if you're going through that many, chances are you're sending it back to Coinstar, so you're paying 10%. I mean, if you can't recover 10% of the value out of a roll, you're $250 you're looking at, and you're losing money on every roll. If you're just hunting wheats, digging $250 out of that box is going to be a trick. Now, I don't work right now, and probably never again, maybe a little while. So I got the time to put into thinking up this stuff. Crazy Mater Bailey says, I like the late night show. We need to call it the late show. Well, what have I got written down on there? Oh, the late show, coins and coffee. Yeah, I'll be the late show for a while. Why not? And what do we got coming up tomorrow? Tomorrow I got to pack up all those flips. I can show you that. It's pretty simple. I put on gloves. I count to 100, like a bunch of times. But I got some folders coming in because I want to put these into some folders and sell them that way. Because a lot of people would love to have a folder. First off, pack with pennies. So much the better. If they got better ones, they'll put them in. If they don't, they got the one I send. And I'm not sending crud like this. Let's check this one. What's wrong with this picture? You see the color in this one? It's orange, not copper orange, like an ochre orange. This is a toolbox penny. All right. You ever been to a job site? You open up somebody's toolbox and they got cigarette butts, they got nails, they got screws, they got some pennies in there. And if you can pick out the color on that, that is the color of a rusty nail. So I'm thinking this guy was in a coffee can or a toolbox or a boot or something and picked up that rusty patina. If I rub that, I might actually get it to come off. Let's try this thing. It's not copper, it's iron. It's contaminated the copper. CoinSense says, you provide a good late service. Ken? Oh, that's me. Checking in as I transfer from the couch to the bed for the second session of sleep. Yeah, I had a nap earlier today and it was so nice I had another nap. Okay, that's what that looks like. And here I can see absolutely nothing. All right. We'll throw that down as cleaned. Yeah, you can't get enough of the coins. There ought to be something on TV 24/7. So I got a directory, and I'll put that link up eventually. What do you see here? Anything going on in that WE? I'm seeing some contact marks in the head. Bottom of the T is a big contact. Bottom of the E is a contact mark. I'm going to say get one on the rim over there by G. I'm going to say that's a contact mark. Try tilting that. Yeah, I'm not buying what that one's selling. Check the L. Alrighty, nothing to see here. A lot of these pennies, there's nothing in there. 47s are a quiet year. Go look at that U again. But we'll check them nonetheless. Because, geez, I got the time for it. But the coin itself, yeah, it's VF. Probably better. And that'll make a fine addition. It's not, this is what I call a no dogs, right? I got these rolls back here. It's a roll of no dogs. It's a 1947, for example. This whole roll would be 1947. No stains, no huge contact marks, not scratched up, the rim's not dinged. Nothing wrong with it. Good shape, no dogs. So if you want to roll with no dogs, you just let me know. I might have it. If not, I'll scurry and put it together. See this one? This one's got some kind of encrusting doo-doo on it. Probably fire or carbon or charcoal or dirt. This one does not qualify. It's a dog. So something like this goes back in my move it to eBay. Don't ever buy my coins on eBay, or at least not my penny bags. Yeah, that's a dog. Nobody wants dogs. See this one, your big doo-doo in the eyeball? That's a dog. I got some doo-doo over here. But you like the coins? People like a decent coin. They don't like the dogs. You can't just give them dogs. Oh, look at this. Whoa. That's shot out. This one's looking pretty promising. A little contact mark here and there. It's so bad. No stains, no marks. Is that a die crack on his head? No, it's just a contact. It's not chewed up. It's not covered with chewing gum, glue, paper, stickers. The wheat lines are pretty darn good. All right, we got some dog stuff over here on the side. No, that one would not qualify. This one, crappity crap right there. The 9 look pretty wide to you? I'm going to set that one off and look at it later. How about here? Blemishes galore. No good. I'm not even going to look at the back. And what do we got here? Looks okay. The 9 is right. Eyelid's right. Date looks good. No crap. Maybe a little bit of crap. But it looks great from here. You can't judge a coin by 500 time power magnification. It comes down to what the coin looks like in hand. And this looks okay. All right, that's a keeper. Whew, I'm going to get some coffee here. You guys got questions? Go ahead and ask them. There's 6 people watching. If I don't have answers, maybe somebody in the chat does. That's coffee right there. I make a pot of coffee, and when it runs out, I make another one. There's no end to it. Now, usually I put these out, line them right up, row after row after row. And I'm working on this rig out in the garage. I was out there today looking for a screwdriver for 3 hours. So I can scan them easy, flip them easy, and photograph them easily in batches rather than one at a time, because one at a time don't work. And what do you see in this one? Zoom it out. We've got a line going from the from about 9 o'clock all the way to 2 o'clock. I'll zoom in, and that's not a bad looking coin. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a bit more and have a good hard look at that. And what we're looking for is layers of peeling, where the one side of that crack is distinctly separated from the other side. Okay, and I don't want to see a groove and a mound, which would mean it's probably a scratch. Now, if the two sections are distinctly separated, then it's probably a lamination. If you get a dark or a deep line, followed by, a bright or a raised line, then it's probably a scratch. All right, now scratches, if I drag a nail across that, right here where the head meets the field, I expect to see a gap, because the nail's going to come across and it's going to kind of jump as it goes from the raised edge to the flat edge. It'll be just a space. Now, if that little line goes through that space, then it's on the planchet, which means it's probably a lamination. Okay, so how do you tell the difference between a lamination and a scratch? You look at the details, and this looks to me like it's a distinct and separate piece. You see how it's not a straight line? Let me try to straighten that up. It's not a perfectly straight line. I can put this down to the bottom. Maybe that'll help. There you go. I mean, it's got wiggles to it. I mean, wiggles is what you expect, because it's the crystalline structure of the copper that is separating, and it's not straight like an aluminum foil. It's been rolled and rolled, and it does have imperfection in there, and that is what gives you that wiggly jiggly line. So that looks to me like a lamination, but it's very fine lamination. But it might be good for $1. How you doing, Cleveland? If you got a coin video channel, we'd love to see that link. Send it to my email if you would. What happened here? It's just a train wreck. Bye-bye. Let me zoom up here. Reset this. That's a train wreck. Now, who would want that? I've got a video directory. Anybody with a coin channel, coin videos, I'll put them in there. And if you're doing live streaming, by all means, if you get a regular schedule, I'll add you on the list. But you got to have a show time and what you're doing and what you're doing regularly. This one looks all right. Let me get you that link if I can find a coin inventory. Sure. No. Oh, here we go. Now, this could be a bit getting to this. Files. I got to load stuff up here. So that's gonna slow down the live stream some more. Alrighty, where is it? Why isn't it here? All right, type variety cheat sheet, inspection, service, gallery, update, WAMs. Okay. Oh, coin video directory. Yeah, that's where it is. Okay, this link is going to be the coin video blog and live stream directory. If I can find where to put this. I'm going to put this in the text box here and hit enter. And you can check that out, see if you belong on that list, and if you do, there's my email right up here. Let me see if I pointed that right. Yeah, right up there is my email. So get a hold of me, send me a link, and we'll go from there, because in live streaming, it's tough for me to open and look at your page. Yep. Now what I'm doing today is just going through 1947s. We did 46S's earlier. Suppose I'll do 47Ds next. I'm looking for errors while talking shop. Anybody wants to talk about coins, you're welcome to. We'd love to hear it. Did I do this one already? That one's got that red-orange rust color to it. Well, a lot of these coins do travel together. A guy goes to the bank, he gets his change, he dumps it in a can or jar, it gets spent to the same place. Yeah, I'll save that one. A lot of coins that they spend lots of time in the same spot. You know, it goes into a coffee can, spends a lot of time there. Goes into a change jar, piggy bank, spends a lot of time there. And they end up together. Now, the back of that E, can you see the swoop there? It's got a bit of a horn on the top. Same with the I and the B. Now, we've got a couple of these on the 1947s. But I'm going to pick that out. Let's look at the E up here in we. That looks fairly normal. But I'm going to pick that one out and take a better look at that with a loop because of the BE. Yeah. Maybe it's something, maybe it's nothing. But I do have a question when you have a minute. We got hundreds of minutes. We got all night. What's your question, baby? We'll answer you. If we can't answer you, we'll come up with something. You know, we'll figure something out. We'll send you in the right direction to find your answer. Love the nose on this one. I'm gonna do that. There's a coin collector 731. Any relation? Bigger brother, maybe? Coin collector 711. That looks normal. Because all we do is answer questions, yeah? Now, nobody in chat has a question. If I can't answer you, we'll get you into the coin up group, and you can always ask them in there. This looks okay otherwise. I'm going to look one more time at this. Yeah, that looks all right. So just go ahead and ask away. You don't have to ask if you can ask. Just ask. None of this, can I ask a question? I just did. My sister does that. Can I ask you a question? Just ask the question. Don't ask if you can ask. Just, you know, skip the preliminary part and get right directly to the asking. This coin looks pretty good otherwise. Well, it's been cleaned. See the color and the tone? You get a regular coin. There we go. This is a regular old wheat looking coin. And it's going to have a tone, a color. It's going to have surface features and a brightness and brilliance about it. It's got a natural shine, right? Because it's just a piece of metal that's been passed around a whole lot of times. But if I tilt this, you're going to see some light reflection. That's the way the metal works. Now, if you clean that, if you treat it, a lot of times it's the phosphates in the detergent in your laundry detergent that'll really frig up a penny. It'll alter that. It just coats it with some phosphates or whatever the hell's in there, or changes the chemical properties of just that outer edge, and it makes the coin go from shiny and glossy to dull and unreflective, more like an eggshell. And that's all it takes. You know, just leave your change in your pocket of your blue jeans and you're going to see it. It's not the same. That has a natural reflective surface, and this one, it does reflect light, but it scatters it more than reflecting it. That's a big indicator of how to tell if a coin has been cleaned. This one looks like it's further been altered. See the pattern of lines on these are almost at 90 degrees. Right across America, you got these lines, and under cent, and they're straight. But then between, say, United States or the S and T, and down in America between C and A, you get these vertical lines. This looks like it's been altered. Oh man, the intemperance of youth. Well, that was junk. And it looks like, yeah, it's been cleaned, polished, God knows what. Getting back over here, I have a question. What would you pay for a 1909 Lincoln cent penny? It says 3SA2. 3SA2. I don't know that nomenclature. First off, you got a 1909 Lincoln cent. It's a better date. Now, your price will be dependent on grade and date. Then if it has other features or die varieties that can add a premium, well, you'd have to identify it. So without seeing your coin, I can't say how much it would worth. What would I pay? Probably 60% of what it's worth. That's the way it works for me. And the rest of that goes in my pocket, and I pay my light bill and, spend the rest on whores and blow. But 3SA2, 3, I don't know what that would be. SA, you got 1DO, for example, would be a first class double die or something like that. Then the -2 that you show would be what order of a listing would it be? What would you pay for 1909 S Lincoln cent? It says 3SA2. Oh, right. I bet you. Okay, watch this. I bet you I know what that is. Yeah. Here's a penny I have for sale. Okay, it's a 1957, but on the back, I have a little code that I'm going to add to that. This one says PJ032. All right. And here's how this works. I've got a whole bunch of stuff I sell. But I've got to keep it straight. So I've got PJ. This one stands for post job because I'm not going to bother to work anymore. And then I've got, whatever number all these coins are, right? Like a PJ 005 would be a 1982 proof George Washington $50. And then I got A, B, and C on that. So the PJ here is simply my designation so I can track the inventory best. PJ032 is this, 1957D, double die verse number 1. That's what it means on mine. Some dealers, some sellers will have a code so they can pick it up at a table and say, oh, I paid $6 for this. I want to sell it for $8. And a lot of times if you have like 3 or 4 letters in a row, that would mean, each letter would be a different number. Like A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. So you got A, B, C. He paid $123 for it, or he wants $123. That may be what the 3SA2 would mean. But 3SA, let's see. 1909 has the plane, has a VDB, then it has the 1999S. So 3 could be the series. SA, I don't know. S, what is that, the 15th letter? He paid $150. I bet you that's it. And it's the second one. I can give you the item number. It's on eBay. The bid is at $83.09. Well, I'm not going to jump to the eBay listing right now because it'll take this live stream and just kill it. But compare it to photo grade. I'll give you a link real easy without screwing stuff up. There we go. Copy. And this is the link to photo grade, so you can compare the coin that the guy has on eBay to what photo grade has. I'll tell you what, it's 4:30 in the morning here. There's 8 people watching. How about give me the link to eBay? Because we'll let it lag. I don't think it's not gonna screw up anybody's day if this thing lags just a little bit. A bid at $83.90. Let me pull up my spreadsheet and I'll tell you, where is my spreadsheet? Here it is. Wheats 1909S in good, $75.90. The most I'd be paying is 60% of that. That's why I like to trade the 1909S's because, there's usually, you can put 20 bucks in my pocket real quick. And I lost this. Can you offer the link to that eBay? I'll get right in there and take a look. 83 bucks. I don't know how many days out it's going to be, but 1909S's, they tend to trade quite well. Everybody needs a 1909S. I'd love to see that link. But if you're collecting coins, are you paying full retail? And if you're buying coins, have you got your formulas figured out? If you're going to be buying coins, you really should know what you're going to be selling them for, what you can expect to sell them for. Because I know let's say a 1931S, I know I can sell a VF for 65 bucks all day. Guaranteed. I'll sell every darn one of them I have. So if I can get them for, $55 or less, I know I'm going to make 10 bucks. Now it's worth my time to start picking them up. So work out your own, your own formulas for what you're willing to pay for what coins. But you give me that link, I'll take a look at it. And it's going to be a couple of days out before that before that auction ends. There's a bit of a delay from when I say it to when I see it on this. So I'm going to keep on moving on. I'm looking at these pennies. Not sure how to do that. How can we get that? I can give you the item number. It's on eBay. Jesus. The link is really the way it works for me, because otherwise I got to stop and type. The 1909S, 8309, I'll just do a search. How about that? eBay. Let's see, is that eBay? Yeah. And I'll give you a look at what I'm doing. Here's a screen and me. And that might take a moment to jump over. Okay, and you can see how fast everything loads out here in the woods. Here's eBay. We'll get a 1909 S Lincoln. Spell it right. And we'll do a search. Let's see what we come up with. There's more ways than one to skin a cat. We don't need details. We'll just hack our way in. You're at 83 bucks. I'm guess you're uncertified. And it's an auction. Auction. $680, 103, real looker. $368. Here's one for $5. That's got 6 days left. That's got plenty of room to grow. 99 cents. Oh yeah, that's a sweet woody too. I'm gonna open that in a new tab just because that's the way I operate. $5. A lot of people list stuff on eBay for $1, hoping that people are gonna look at it. Well, let's see, 72 bucks, 37 bucks, 102. That's what I want to do. Let's put it in order. Best match. Give me lowest first. Yeah, I bet you that'll pop it up. They start with a low bid. Oh, that's a handsome woody. Hoping that it'll get some bids getting up to, where it should be. And the more bids you have on an item, the more eBay is going to promote it. That one's freaking wrecked. I don't think it's worth $5. That's bullshit. This one looks okay. And you're at 83. There's some dogs in here. Let's find 83 bucks. 63, 66, 73, 74, 68, 80. It's somewhere around here. Oh, man, it's on the next page. See, I don't have the chat box open right now, so I'm not. 8309, SA2. 25 bids. You got a day left. That's going to go through the roof. He's saying very fine. Well, first off, it's not very fine. Looking at the picture here, that is fine, but not much better. Okay, but very fine. I want to see a separation of the cheek and the jaw. I want to see better detail on that ear, especially the back of it. This is a fine coin. See there by on his shoulder near the Y, there's a pretty substantial contact mark. We have another contact mark on his vest to the left of the 1, a couple of contacts in and around the 1 and 9 in the date. It looks like a small scratch at the top of his head. Let's look at the back of this. Now, if that's very fine, I want to see full lines. I've got full lines. All right, that's probably what he's basing it on. On that right wheat ear, yeah, those are a little bit rubbed out, but that can be a very fine, but it's at the low end of VF, and we're talking VF 20. The back's not too bad. The back is better than the front. Get a rim nick at 3 o'clock. Some debris in the BU and pluribus. Oh, that's a shame there's no VDB. Okay, let's look at the other picture. Now here's a trick. Go back and forth between the pictures. Left picture, right picture, left. It probably, you can't see it because the frame rate is so slow. But click back and forth between the photos, and sometimes that will reveal some flaws in the coin. Okay, we're back at the obverse. I don't think the head on Lincoln supports VF. I don't think there's enough detail here. Really. I give it a fine price. This is about $1.25 coin. I'm gonna look at my notes real quick. Where'd they go? Coin spreadsheet. There we go. For fine, I'd say 90 bucks. VF 115. The most I pay, I think it has already exceeded that. What can I sell that coin for? I can probably get 100 bucks for it. Now, if I can get 100 bucks for it, and I'm not going to get 115 because of that, well, the weak detail on the head and that contact mark on the shoulder. If I can sell that for 100 bucks, I'd want to make 20 to 25 at least. So 80 bucks would be about as much as I'd pay. Mint mark looks right. It's not quite sharp enough to tell if it's a genuine or right, but the size and shape is about right. I'm looking for a little line on that upper serif, and I just can't see it in this detail. Yeah, but it's not a bad coin. It's only got a couple of flaws, and the worst is that contact mark on its shoulder. Yeah, I could sell that for 100 bucks. What's it going to cost you if you're going to sell it for 100 bucks? That's the correct one, says Cleveland. I'm back in the chat looking around. That's the one. At 83 bucks, it's not a bad price. It's not too bad. There's room in there to make money. You won't take it up the ass. At 100 bucks, you could probably get your money back. Well, that's not too bad. If all you do is break even in a few years, maybe it'll be 105, 110. 20, 30 years, oh yeah, you'll make money. But what do you know, you're just going to sit on it? That's okay. A lot of people want a nice collection. It's up to you. What do you think? Would I buy it at the current price? I think it's a little over what I would like to pay. I'd like, 75 to 80 would be about the top. These key dates, you pay a little more than, 50 to 60%. 75, 80, yeah, that's probably about right. But I wouldn't go, 83, you're starting to crowd it. You're starting to shrink the margin. With that contact mark, it's going to be a little tougher to sell. Maybe I'll get $95 for it. Okay, maybe I can only get 90 for it. Well, if that bid goes up much more, I pay 90, I sell it for 90, I'm kicking my own ass not to make any money. It takes all my time, my effort, all my envelopes, printing, space, flips, shipping time, running around, taking pictures, listing it. Hey, you can pass, you can pick it up. I would pass. It's not my, I don't think the value is there. But there's some other ones I looked at. What was that Woody one? There we go. If you can see the screen, yeah, you can see that. Here we got one. It's got 4 days left. Let me get over. The seller is Krigman Financial. I have no idea who they are. They got 18,766 stars. You got here a real pretty one. Good color. Coarse wood. Good coverage on it. The mint mark looks genuine. It's got contact marks. See the separation in the jaw? This guy is in better condition than that other one. It's got some contact marks, but I don't see any that are standing out. But what's going to catch their eye is that wood. Let's look at the back. Oh, that's a handsome piece. Yeah. Now the ear on the right is showing full lines. The ear on the left is, and it's just about this. This is a VF. And it's a lower on VF, but it's a little bit better on the obverse than that first one you looked at. Now, if you're going to sell these coins, what's going to make them stop and look at your coin? It's going to be that image, that photo. You got one chance to get their attention with that first photo. And this one is going to stop them in their tracks. Oh, that's an attention getter right there. Yeah, I'm going to put this on my watch list. And if you don't bid on it, I will. And if you do bid on it, I'll probably bid against you. There we go. I'm going to add that to the watch list. Now, as you can see, that's got 4 days and a half left. Yeah, this will go for probably $1.25. So let's look over here at King and see what he's got going on. Right, 18,000 stars. And that's free shipping. That's a little benefit, you know. Coming from Arizona, nice dry area. I like that. Don't buy stuff from the swamps. Okay, we got no negatives. Good seller. Based in the United States. Been on eBay for 10 years. All right. 89 things. Now, this is a key. You see this right here? If I can highlight that. Got 454 followers. Okay, so a lot of people are starting to see his stuff. He's got 1,500 items being sold. I don't know. Let's find out. He's got a lot of pennies. Lots of Indians. So with 454 followers, how many people are going to be bidding on that penny? And this will be a month loading up. There's a flying eagle. I'm going to look at that. I got one out in my mailbox right now. Okay, now he's starting, looks like a lot of stuff at $1 bid. So he's expecting some people are going to look at this and bid it up so he can get more eBay involvement by getting, let me look at ending soonest, by getting people exposed. 89 items being sold. He's got some decent Indians, nothing great. 1870, that's an 1877 Indian cent. With a current bid of 118 bucks. That'll sell for 800. 08S. He's got some good dates. And this is a peach. You want that coin. Even if you break even on something like this, Woody, you get attention. That's what the Woody does. They'll come and see what you got. You give them combined shipping. They'll look at what else you got. And that getting attention is what it takes to sell online. Here's some 2 centers. 4 of them. And take a look. You can pick up 2 centers. You can oftentimes get them at a good price, but a couple of these look like dogs. 2 half dimes. One's wore out, and the other is, I can't tell. But it looks like he's got some decent coins. He's got good coverage, diverse Morgans. He's got Indians. He's got Flying Eagles. He's got better date wheats. That's probably why people are watching him. Let's look at the stuff that he has that's going to end soon. Ending soonest. Or was that the stuff? Yeah, he's working it right. He's got all the stuff clustered together so he can offer combined shipping. Now, he offers free shipping, but they're going to bid on his stuff. He'll save a couple of bucks by shipping it out together. Yeah, he's a pro. He's done this before. You know, been doing it for 10 years with 500 followers. Yeah, that coin will probably sell for $1 and change. And if it broke even, it would be an attention getter. Yeah, try it out. There's all kinds of pennies on there. Keep an eye out. You can find deals on eBay just by, you know, keeping with it. Some are good, some are not so good. Let's come back here. Here's the item number. That's the correct one. Okay, I'll pass. So what's the letters and numbers next to it mean? I put the letter like the JP032. I use that in my listings so that I can do a search and pick it out instantly. You know, rather than scroll through. Because I mean, there's some stuff. This is 2 months of selling, right? I mean, it's page after page after page after page after page. How am I going to find all this stuff? I mean, come on. There's 30 items a page. There's 1,000 coins here sold in a couple of months. How do I find one particular coin? I have that little number. You know, every coin I sell has a number. So I can pull that coin out. This one is BP 392. It's in the BP section, which is Big Push. It's number 392. That's on my roster. It's on my coin. It's on my photos, right? Because I take pictures of the coins and I name all the photos. You can do it as a batch. You know, photo number 392, photo number 1. But I'll put like 392, 1954 D BU. And all those pictures get renamed and it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I have that same number on the listing on eBay or Facebook or wherever the hell. When I sell it, it goes on an invoice and I include that number. So everything has that same inventory control number, right? And if it doesn't match up when I'm going to ship it out, I stop what I'm doing and find out what the hell's going on. Is this the right coin, right? It's got to match the invoice, the pictures, the coin tag, the roster, everything lines up. It's a sale. Otherwise, I done screwed up. And don't I hate it when I ship the wrong coin to the wrong address. The guy who gets the coin as a bonus, he don't say nothing. But the guy who didn't get the coin, he's screaming bloody murder. So work on the inventory control, and you'll find a unique identifying number is pretty critical. I can do a search on the computer. I can do a search on photos. I can run through because this is this is written in order as I go. I add a coin. That's when I assign the number. It's whatever the next number is. Rich Cali says, I have a few rolls of Woodies. Did a video not long ago on part of one roll. I did a coin class a couple of weeks ago. It was on Woodies, the first one. And I probably mumbled it up, but we got through it pretty well. The Woodies are good. They do bring a premium, but it all depends on what they look like. That 1909S, that was a good looking piece. They get attention more than anything else. You list them, it's what stops them. Let me look up, let me pull up CoinOp. Let's see, where the hell am I going to find that? And I'll show you what I'm talking about. And I'll bring this over. This on the desktop? Yeah, here it is. Now watch how fast this loads. You want to sing a song, tell a story, read a book? Now's the time. This is the time when I sort pennies because this is going to be a long time waiting for this to load. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? 21 people need attention right now. Right, I'll get to you. I'm going to go to CoinOp sales. Now, you're competing with everybody else in the world when you're selling your coins. So how do you get them to stop and look at just yours? All right, this is CoinOp. This is the CoinOp Sales and Trades Group. This is where I sell. Because to be in this group as a seller, you have to be approved. I'm one of the administrators, and we check on you. You know, where have you sold before? Show me a history of good customer service. You can't do that, I'm not going to approve you. There's Andy Jones. He's a good seller. The good sellers attract good customers. Anybody who doesn't pay, we get them out of the group. Any troubles, we get them out of the group. Seller doesn't perform, he gets out of the group. We haven't removed a seller yet because we vet every single one of them. Moved a few buyers. Okay, but here's a Stone Mountain half. You scroll down, here's a proof set. Scroll down to the next one, you got some Engelhard bars. But what is going to make the buyer stop and look at your coin? All right, here's another aspect. I can look at items for sale. And this will just give you a big long list of photos. What's going to make the buyer stop and look at your photo? It needs to be, first off, a good photo. But it needs to be an attention getter. Let's see if the photos will load. Come on. Welcome to the woods. The top one. You'll find after a while that each seller will have his own distinctive photographic style. That first one, Bradenton, Florida, that's going to be Chuck Daughtry. He's a pro photographer. God, he can sell a coin. He makes them look good. Second one down, here's a piece of paper with some writing on it and some coins. Well, they're not very clear. I can't tell you who that is. But what's going to make people stop is the quality of the photo and the quality of the coin. You put them both together, and you will get the attention, and it's the attention that's going to get the bids and the buys. All right, here's a nice shiny one, this 1955S. Scroll down a little more. Albums, folders. A lot of times they do well, but it's hard to get a photo of every coin. Alrighty, here's an overpriced 57. All right, Star Notes, 70S BU, large date, $8. Who the fuck is ripping people off? I'll get to that. I'll probably knock him. It's a 50th anniversary, 90% silver Kennedy half. See how this photo of the half dollar, it only covers half of the image size. I like to fill that whole area with the coin. This is Dan McLaury. He's got good coins. I mean, no problem at all. I bought a couple from him, but his photography, his pictures suck. He could do so much more with better pictures. Right? This one's real good. Here's a proof set. But put that coin, fill it right up, size it right. This one, you see the black background. The coin is full, it's cropped. That's Chuck Daughtry. Again, here's one, black background. The texture on that tells me it's probably one of those scales. They make a great backdrop for coins. And mine, you'll see in here, this is my loop, right? 10 by 21. I got a penny in here somewhere. Let's see if we can find that thing. Well, no matter, it's in there. But what's going to stop them is the quality of the image and the quality of the coin. You put those together, you'll sell some product. And, well, that's your pocketbook, isn't it? Let's come back up here. Okay, cool. Thanks for the info. I see your neighbors are not watching cat videos tonight. Your streams are doing good. Oh, thank heavens. Morning, Chris. Get some coffee. What is it, 5 o'clock? I've been going for 3 hours. Only 93 hours to go. I better make some more coffee. Yeah, we're just shooting the shit. We're talking coins. What are you doing this morning? Looking at coins. Okay, so I'm going to go back to what I was doing. So I can figure out how to make this work. Because I got a bunch of 47s I'm running through. There we go. Just looking, seeing what's good, seeing which stuff to throw out. That's all right. I don't see anything wrong with it. People ask questions, we try to answer them. Hi, I'm in both of CoinUp groups. I also watch his videos and live streams. He talked about you, and I looked your name up. Oh, this is the place. I got a blog you probably want to check out, too. Have you been collecting and selling for long? Are you just collecting, or are you just selling? What are you doing? Where are you doing it? I'm going to give you a link to my blog here. Copy. See if that'll work. Yeah. All right. And in there, you're going to find a coin video directory. Copy. I'll give you that. This is the directory. If you have coin videos and you're not in the directory, let me know, and I'll put you in there. But make sure everything works right. Because if it goes to a porn site, well, baby, you know, you're going to be removed. Because the chicks get all upset, especially lately. I mean, what's got them all bugged out today? Oh, it's usually something. Okay, got a big gouge in his head. Got some doodle on the 9. Unremarkable. But in hand, it looks okay. Full lines, clear weeds. Okay, it's VFXF. That'll work. That looks all right. On Saturday, I have a coin class. A lot of these guys, they get on and they put up their quarters or rolls of pennies or rolls of halves. And, you know, for $5, you can win one. And I'm looking, and they run through there. Hey, they do great. They're making some money. It's certainly a good enterprise, I'll tell you that much. But a lot of them, they give away $10 worth of coins for 250 bucks brought in. Well, that ain't gonna last. I mean, come on, free enterprise, what it is, that's not gonna last. So what I do, I put up pictures and I talk about the coins. Because there's one thing I realize people want. They want to know what to look for. They want to know what it is. Right? What is it? What is this coin and how much is it worth? And the third thing they want to know is, where's the machine I put it into to get my money? This one looks okay. So I get into, not so much what to look for, but also how to look for it. You're totally new to coin collecting. All right. You're going to find my blog's going to be pretty handy. What do you like? Pennies? You like halves? You like silver? Everybody likes something different. Me, I'm the penny guy. I do copper. Here we go. I'm in copper in every form. I got BU pennies, old pennies, key dates. The really old ones from the 1800s. With just a chick on it. If I can get these open. I got these copper rounds. Look at these. Are these beautiful? This is why I keep the fingertip gloves on. I got some of these just on a lark and said, hey, Christmas is coming. You want to get some of these? These are 1 ounce copper rounds. It's the size of a $50. And that's the Walking Liberty design. And on the back, of course, you get the big fat eagle Walking Liberty design. I'll put it on here and zoom her out. Yeah, everybody likes the silver. They get the silver bug going. I did the copper. It's a better looking metal. It's pretty. It's beautiful, That's a Walking Liberty design on a piece of copper. Just big around. It's 1 ounce. It's the size of a silver eagle. And I sell these for $2 a piece. And people went to town. They took every one I had, like in 2 days. Okay, I'll get some more. Christmas is coming. One guy wants, 10 of them on sometime the end of the month, and that's coming up. On the back, it's a metal design, so you don't flip it upside down. You flip it side to side, and you get the eagle in the back. It's not an exact replica of the Walking Liberty half, but it's not a bad looking round. I mean, I've seen some that they're freaking bullshit. 0.995, 1 ounce of copper. That's it. And I'm gonna get an ounce of copper, ounce of silver, ounce of gold. These are looking good. I'm gonna keep them. The Christmas time comes. These are beautiful. You hand these out, at work to the people you work with. They're gonna remember that. So I got your card. Now I got you this for the grandchildren. I put those in flips. See if I got one handy. I might have one handy. Oh, I might have. I think every damn one of them been shipped. There you go. But I'm gonna put that in a clear plastic flip. The stiff ones that are designed for long-term storage, so it doesn't get fucked up. And you can hand that out. You put your business card on one side, on the other side, and there's your big coin. But it'll be protected. It'll stay neat. It'll stay clean. And it's a great promotional item for the holidays. Let's see. I bought 2 rolls. Chris Hurley says, about 2 rolls of BU 2000p cents on eBay. Pretty sure they were checked as the crimping on the roll ends is soft. Checked anyway. Skunked. Yeah. I bought stuff on eBay. I assume everything has already been picked. Not just picked, but picked thoroughly. I picked up a bag, a year and a half ago, and I went through it. I found a few things. But I got a bag off of a guy named Bob Grow in one of the coin groups, and I'm finding all kinds of stuff. Best bag I've had in years. eBay, don't buy my bags on eBay. Oh, for damn sure, because there's nothing in there. But you figure we're 70 years in, they're picked clean. Back in the 80s, I could get a bag, and they'd have, teens, 20s, 30s, steel sets, S-mints. Nowadays, you get a bag, it's 40s and 50s, P and D, and circulated. Nothing else fancy. I used to get BUs, No, nothing anymore. They've been picked and picked and picked and picked. So now I'm going to fill sets. And instead of just selling a bag, get 50 different. Here you go. I've got one coming. What do you have coming, Hannibal? Rich says, I have about 1,100 pounds of pennies with half being bank rolls. Yeah, they build up, don't they? I got a cabinet over here. Just, I opened the door and they fell out. They're all over the damn floor. I got to clean them up. Cleveland says, pennies. I watched a lot of your videos. I watched that one video you did when you made boxes. Yeah, they're pretty handy. I think it's this might be one of them. Yeah, I use those things because it's free. I'm cheap. I'm a tightwad. Why spend money on a box when I can spend money on pennies to put in the box? Here we go, and there's another one. It's a different box, as you can see. But, it's simple. It's simple as hell. Here we go. Oh, there's a neat one. I get stuff on eBay. I open it up, but I cut it so I can keep the box. Look, how handy is that, eh? Huh? It's like a cigar box, only it's a priority mailbox. But they're handy. You're gonna find a lot of these things they give them to you. You can go to the bank, you get the deposit tickets. It's just a coin envelope. You can write on it, put some pennies in there. You can save them that way. Ooh. I get when did this one come in? Here's a package from a couple of weeks ago. It's a nice bubble mailer. Now it's been used. It's got a printing label, but I can put coins in there. And I can cut them up. Right? Instead of buying bubble wrap to wrap stuff with, I'll cut that, wrap it up, use that inside my bubble mailers, so I get some extra protection for the coins. I ship out a lot of loops, a lot of scales. I'm going to jump into albums and folders next, but I need some padding, some cushion. So reduce, reuse, recycle. This stuff does not come into contact with the coins. I'm going to take off the sender's label and reuse that packaging. Everything's free out there, it seems. The mail. There we go. If you need bubble wrap to ship stuff in, you go to the post office, pick up their primer. They give them away. They're in the lobby of your local post office. They got bubbles. And I get a pair of scissors. Put the two together. You can wrap your coins up, well protected. Ship them in a craft envelope, and give them good protection for no money. This stuff's out there. Take advantage of it. Now you're new. What kind of videos would be good for you that are new? Take a look at the album tour. Putting together different sets. Do you put together your set in circulated grade where they're all kind of brown, or do you want to put together a set where they're looking like this? It'll cost more, but you're going to have something pretty darn spectacular to look at. Alrighty. How you want to? There's a storage video. How do you want to store your coins? You want to store them, in vinyl flips, and there's a certain kind of vinyl you want and a certain kind you don't want. This is the kind you don't want. All right, soft and flexible. And this is the kind you do want. It's stiff, right? And the stiff ones don't have softeners in there, which can leach out over time and screw up your penny. Then you can, let's see, you can store your coins in boxes. You've seen that part. Ooh. You can store them in binders, right? So you need pages. And either the cardboard flips or the vinyl flips would fit in these. Then you can set these up as you want. And if you don't want to use the flips, of course you can use folders or albums. And the folders are inexpensive. I got some coming in. You can put your pennies in, fill up a whole complete set. It's a great display piece. These are inexpensive. I'm losing my fingertips. Or you can get the, you know, the better quality albums, the dance codes, for example, and you can see both sides of the coins. You can't do that on the folders. But these are $4. These are $40. But you can also get the whole series in something like this. And fill those babies up. They got them for every denomination from half cent to $10. You know, $10 gold. You can put. I don't think I'd put $10 golds in these. Just pulled out about 25 rolls of 68 to 74 S. I put away in the 80s. I hope you got like 5 rolls of 69S, and if you do, just sell one at a time. Man, that's awesome. My mother passed away in January, and she'd been saving her pennies aside. You know, Kenny's gonna come and visit. Well, she put the pennies in there hoping. And after she passed away, my sister sent me this, you know, big jar of pennies, the tins. You know, the one they put that awful fruit cake in. It's like rubber. Anyway, I'm picking through them, and I'm not getting anything newer than 2001. I guess that's when she filled that tin. Everything else is 2001 or before. The 90s, I mean, they're beautiful shape, beautiful. So I picked those and set them aside. Lots of Canadians, and a lot more wheats in that as a percentage than normal. Because, geez, you know, it's 17, 18, 15, 16, 17 years ago, she stopped filling that container. She's got a couple more back up there. I'll get to those when I visit my sister. And we'll pick right through those. But that's a neat, you know, snapshot of the way pennies change over time. 10 more years from now, memorials are going to start being quite scarce. But you get a bunch of BU rolls. They're nice. I got just about every date a BU roll. So I figured may as well start to put together some sets. That's why I got some of these folders coming. And over time, I'll take the time and, you know, just fill one hole at a time and sell those off. I've assembled a couple of rolls. It takes a while to you know, put together a set of 50 different BU memorials from 59 to 81. But they sell, and they sell well. I get bids 25 to 31 is typical. But geez, you know, it takes me an hour and a half, 2 hours to put it together. But well, let's get that part of the desk cleaned up. And when they're rotated, I'll get some more and pick through those. Alrighty. 9 people watching at 5 o'clock in the morning. We have got to get out more. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to zip in. That's not too bad looking. That's a high-end VF. And I got the zoom back to right. And I'll keep on looking through. These are pennies I took out of circulator rolls. They're not BU? Well, no matter. There's still plenty. I mean, every date out there has something in them. Well, the late 70s were kind of quiet years. There was not a whole lot of double dies and RPMs. In 1947, apparently, was a pretty darn quiet year, too. Yeah, late 40s and late 70s. What are you going to do? But 60s, yeah, there's plenty of stuff in there. 68 and 69. Yeah, you get 70, 71, 72. Yeah, there's stuff in there. 73 and 4 are kind of quiet, though. But you start pulling, I mean, even minor 72 double dies out of there. I mean, you're looking at $20. Some of these are pretty good. You get a decent number double die number 3. It doesn't take long to pick through a bunch of pennies. You got how many? 25 rolls? Oh, it's only half a box. That won't take any time at all. If you've already got to sort them out, so much the better. Oh, these are just S cents. Huh. I go through a box, I get 2 S cents. You got more in that one package than I get, you know, going through 2 years of pennies. hope you find some DDOs, some RPMs, some missing S's. How about those? Yeah, big old stripe. I think I might get one of those. That look good. See what we got up here. A little grut on there. Big contusion on the rim. Another one there. I'm done looking at that one. This one looks okay. Nope, I don't see anything there that stands out. Look at the back. Dots are looking good. I'm going to zoom in a little more. I want to see those dots. That looks pretty good. Well, I don't know why I want to see these dots. There's nothing to see here. Next one. Idaho. You're in Idaho? Is that a mountainous state? We grow potatoes up there. We grow potatoes in Maine. Idaho, 2 a.m. Yeah, that'd be about right. It'd be mountain time, I suppose. 425. Oh, okay. That's the time in Kansas. I've never been to Kansas. I hear there's lots of sunflowers out there, real flat-like. I haven't crossed the Mississippi yet. Well, there's plenty of nighttime left. I better get some more pennies. Now, you go through rolls and you search for varieties. How in depth do you search? Because I mean, I'll get rid of the junky coins first. Then I'll sort them up by year. Then when I get the time, like I'm doing right now, I'll go through a particular year so I can let me try to say this right. So I can familiarize myself with what I want to look for and what's already in existence, what's already been found for dive varieties. And I can target them specifically and keep an eye out for those. Man, I think I'm getting tired. I can't speak right. What you got here? And rim contusions, some bumps, some scrapes. That was nothing. What was that one? And that's the last one. All right. That's what we picked out of that sack of 46 S's. Now I gotta find those bags again. And we'll set these 47 finds aside. There's not too many. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. What's this say? That's nothing. Yeah, I cut these up by hand. I stick them in a tuna can. Makes it handy. These are 1947 picks. And when the lighting's right and I got the time and nothing better to do, I'll go through these with a loop. But usually I spread them out on my desk, but you can't use that desk right now. I mean, it is so freaking ruined. Look at it. Can you see this desk? I can't, and I'm right beside it. Let's see if I can see what you're seeing. There you go. Let me shut that off. I got a green cloth here, which you can almost see. There you go. Now, I'm going to put the coins across that. That's time for that to get cleaned anyway. But this thing's so covered with stuff. Just plain stuff. It's at a point where I've lost its function. Okay, I could go through and clean it, but I got to put all those coins into some flips, and they won't be here till tomorrow night. All right, to hell with it. I just searched some rolls. And that's why I'm here. Yes, sir. Lots of taters. Did you say you live in Florida? I live in Florida. I'm from Maine. Well, now I'm from Florida. Born and raised in Maine, but I don't like the snow, and I ain't going back there for the snow. And I will go to great lengths to avoid that snow. If it ever snows here, I'll just go further south. 30 years of snow is plenty. Yep, you sort it by year. I sort it by decade first. So I get all these bags over there, 80s, 90s, 2000s. I don't sort it all at once. I do other things all at once. When I find 5 minutes here and there, or maybe I got some on the stove boiling, some pasta or rice or something, I'll take a few minutes and I'll sort, a pile. I live alone, so I can use that table at my leisure, and I just cover with pennies. But I sort a few at a time, maybe a roll or two, and I'll run away. And I come back and I sort another couple of rolls. And then once I have them sorted by decade, I'll put everything in Ziploc bags. Then I'll keep on going, and I'll sort them into year. I'll do the 80s. So I've only got 10 different cups going at any given time, and it's tidy, it's neat, it doesn't take up a whole lot of space, but it's a continuous effort, because when I get another box, I do the same thing. I pick them over and sort them by date. So anything that jumps out at me, Wheats or Canadians, I go in a special cup, and the rest of them I sort by date. So there's no end to it. Then I get the boxes for for the 80s, all sorted by year, then the 90s, and that's not too bad. When that box starts to get full, I grab a big sack out of there and go through, just the 84s, and I'm looking just for double ears and double dies, whatever I can find there. And that seems to be effective for me. Other people, they do it 1 penny at a time, and they use one of these. That's great, but this doesn't really pick up quite the detail I'd like to see. We need one more step up in improving the technology, and then it'll be an awesome thing. We're right on the edge of really good equipment. But this is pretty darn good, I gotta tell you. But nothing is gonna beat a good eye and a decent 10x loop. Same reason you moved from Georgia to Georgia from Jersey. Well, any reason to move from Jersey is pretty good. I've been up there. Don't get off the highway in New Jersey. Good Lord, I gotta pee. I'm heading north, visit my sister. She's putting up with the snow for the kids' sake. All right, stop having kids. Good Lord. Hi, I'm Christy, and her legs are up in the air. Stop it, you little whore. Okay, so she's still up there. But I go up to visit, and by the time I get to Jersey, I gotta go. I gotta go right now. You pull off the highway, and it's a 3-hour off-ramp, and then you're out in the pasture, and there's nothing. There's no place to pee in New Jersey. I don't know why the place is screwed up. Get off the roads, just pee in the trees. Just hold it. Get to New York, because they got rest areas in New York. What do we got on this bag? This is 1949 D's. And 9 look kind of frig to you. Yeah, that's probably normal for that year. But man, you can have that cold. Good Lord, you pick up pennies and they stick to your fingers from the frostbite. No way to live. This one's junk. No, I sold pennies up north. And you go to a coin show in the middle of winter. Because you got to bundle up. You get inside, you're all sweaty. Because you got a big thick coat on. It's uncomfortable. Down here, it's t-shirt and shorts 24/7, 365. It's just plain. Okay, we do have about a week and a half in January where you might want to put on socks. But how much do we spend? I mean, you spend $2,000 a year to heat yourself for the winter in Maine. Well, screw that. I'd rather get a truck, I come down here. There's no property taxes. Well, okay, there's property taxes. There's no income taxes. What's going on up here? We got a funny little E. Got some doo-doo right around it. The cost of living in Florida is so much less. All right, this is fairly natural. This is dye deterioration. There we go. It's a perfect example of dye deterioration. Let's zoom in a little bit more. See how it's the letters that are kind of screwed up? This is from the metal flow on its way to the rim. Now the speed of the metal at the rim is going to be a little more than the speed of the metal flowing in the center, just because it's the effect of the radius. But what happens, if we could show this, you're going to see some, I'll get my pointy stick in here. You see these lines on the sides of the T, right? Kind of like horns. And it looks almost like a Y. You'll see it again over here. These are really good telltale signs. The metal is going to be flowing and it goes into these devices and then back up. It's like a slowdown. It's like a traffic jam. But around the sides of the T, there's no traffic jam. The metal flows a whole lot faster. And you end up with these patterns, specifically around the outside letters, where it looks like horns. And you find the same thing over here in the L. Maybe not on this one. And you might find it on the side of the 9. Okay, but that's dye deterioration. That's a pretty classic example of it. Let's look at the back. And there ain't much here. Ain't nothing here, Lieutenant. No, that's just shot out. Okay, next. Decades first, and then by year. Then I go to year and mint mark. I don't do by year and mint mark. I could do the mint mark right here at the table, right? I mean, I can set these out, and I put them all heads up. These, I pick those out. Check the rest. I can flip them over, and of course I know they're already the same mint mark at that point. And that saves me, another 50 different sacks. But most of your moderns aren't going to be D and S. They're just going to be Ds. And in Florida, I don't get so many Ds. Most everything I get are Ps. Anything on that mint mark? I'm having trouble making out the bottom of that. But I think I see a notch. I'm going to set that aside and look at that more later. But I mean, you can sort and sort and sort until you're blue in the face. I get it down a year. That's pretty good. That's good enough for me. I can do the rest, when I get time for it. Now I'm going to fill up a Ziploc bag, quart size, with the same date by the time I get to looking at it. So I'll get boy, that looks wide. I get a sack over there, just 1982 P&D. And it's got zincs, it's got copper, it's got P&D, large, small date, the whole bit. And I'll get through it. I got a sack of 1996 P&D. I can tell the difference when I get through that, if it's, P or D when I get to it. But I'm just going to lay out, enough that I can look at. And, you can see the space back here. Maybe 3, maybe 4 rolls at a time. It'll take me 5, 6, maybe 8 sets to, cycles to work through one of these bags, because sometimes they get pretty full. Something like the 2000s, they don't fill up pretty much because I go through those pretty quick. 1986, that one's going to fill up before I get to it. That looks okay. I guess I'm going to glue, doo-doo, sugar. Could be about anything there. But sorting is handy, but there is a practical limit where it starts to get into overkill on the sorting. Okay, I'm going to look at that in a little bit. That just looks kind of funky. But Florida, you got no, you don't have to heat the house. It's a whole lot cheaper to air condition it. Got crap on this one. I'm not even bothered. Damage. Property taxes aren't bad. I got 4 acres. The house, barn, has a shelter out back, another little structure out front, fence, cross fence, What else? You know, well, septic. It's pretty well built up. And my taxes, $450 a year. It's not too bad. My brother's in town. He's got a tenth of an acre. Pretty nice house. Got the swimming pool with the enclosure, fence, paved driveway. He pays about $2,700 a year in taxes. You know, he could borrow sugar from his neighbor and never leave. Just reach through the window. Hey, can I borrow a cup of sugar? Right through the window, because he lives this far from his neighbor. You got to go through the house, between the houses. You got to go through this way. I can't even see a neighbor. Well, maybe the wind's blowing. You can have that city life thing. Come on here, come down to Florida. You like it? All right. Well, give me the woods. It works pretty good. Good tax breaks for retired military in Georgia. Well, thank you for your service. I hope every retired military guy moves to Florida. Because, you know, I live in right next door here. Moves to Georgia. So that'll give me a good defense zone when the law and order breaks down and all the zombies come. 1949D is probably one of the most boring years. Some on that are. There we go. Let's come up here and look at pluribus. I find the reverse double thighs on wheats. They're not very common. I've only found a few, you know, maybe half a dozen or so. I find DDOs frequently. Lots of RPMs, but hardly any double die reverses. Did I want to set that out? Let me look. So it does take a whole lot of time. Just give it a flip and take a look. Nothing there. Move on. What's going on with his lips? Oh, damage. Okay, that was in the junk pile. $1,500 a quarter? What? 4 times a year you pay $1,500. Good Lord. All my bills, all of them, right now, are not $1,500 a quarter. It's about $1,300 a quarter. Pays all my bills right now, and that puts food on the table too. Good Lord. Yeah, property taxes are crime. You know, you buy the house when you're done paying for it. If you don't pay the government for the right to live on your own land, they give it to somebody else. Now, that's wrong. Bump up your sales tax. You know, if your government was any good, then increase the economy. Get people coming and going, and sales taxes would cover all their bills. No, they got to take the money that you make and give it to somebody who doesn't make it. All in the sake of what, compassion or something? That looks odd. I'm going to keep that aside. I mean, when the guy who earns it doesn't get the reward, but the guy who doesn't earn it does, you got a problem. And you're just begging people to stop trying. I mean, why bother working? You know, we'll just hand it to you. Well, I've been working since I was 4. 4 years old, we're out in the blueberry field. My job was, you know, go get the water, bring it over, bring a cup. That was my job. 5 years old, I made $16 all summer. I was pretty happy, you know, picking blueberries. And started a savings account. My brother earned $20 that year. $20, more money I ever heard of. Jesus, it's almost still more money I ever heard of. I wouldn't mind having $16 now. But it was kind of a, you know, get them started. We opened up savings account up at the bank with little passbooks. And a couple times a year, you know, Christmas time, we get like $1 and something. We take that up and go to the bank and deposit $1 in our savings account. And it was like a huge deal back then. All right, now we're going to get our hair cut. Come back, we're looking like Marines. Yep, dressed to kill. Money in the bank. All the chicks thought that. Chicks have always dug me, you know. Okay, what do we got here? We got something going on the D. I don't know. Boy, that's just not really clear, is it? All right, we'll set that aside and look at it. Professor Peavy, do you ever sleep? Well, not since the accident. But I am talking again. So we got that much going for us. Right now we're just looking at old pennies, seeing if we can find stuff that needs further attention. Meantime, just answering questions, talking trash, you know, making up stories. I don't see anything in there. And tonight's discussion is property taxes, which are just terrible. Good Lord. You taxed me on my property, and you never did fix that road in front. And that time you did fix the road, they drive over my mailbox and just leave it there. Sorry, not my job. Well, who's going to replace this mailbox? I don't know. Where's your boss? He's not here. Okay, I'll go talk to the city manager. Now, I used to wait tables downtown at a place. What's going on there? All right, we'll set that aside. Of course, all the swell people come in. You know, some of the local politicians. Like, there's a lot of those in this town. You know, you get a town this big, there aren't that many local politicians. But you get to know both of them. Because it's downtown and they got to eat someplace. So they came in and waited tables on them. All right. That one's drunk. So I called him up, said, who do I talk to about my they ran over my mailbox fixing the road. You know, not that the road needed fixing. Now, 2 roads over, that one needed to be retopped. Well, not a thing wrong with this road, but they're going to tear it up, scrape up all the pavement, put down new pavement. All right. I hope that don't come out of my tax dollars, because that was a fine road to begin with. All right, I drive with a mailbox. I say, who owes me a mailbox? Well, that's not our problem. You need to go talk to Public Works. So I got out County Public Works. Well, normally that would be our problem, but you see, that job was contracted. So you'll need to contact the contractor. All right. So I contact the contractor. Well, what we first have to do is file a claim with your county. Yeah. It's a freaking mailbox. Nobody can take responsibility for a mailbox. So I took responsibility for the mailbox. And it's out there. Got some 9-wire wrapped around it, wrapped around the pole. Got another pole beside the pole. Got some 9-wire on that. Don't ever bother with government. Government is unnecessary. No, it's a necessary evil, but it is an evil nonetheless. For the government to operate, it has to take from the governed. And unless the people speak up against the government when it overreaches, the government will govern us instead of us operating the government. And as soon as you cross into that territory, the government no longer serves the people, and hence the reason for the revolutions. And it's the whole reason why we have the Second Amendment. And one day the people will wake up to it and understand. Here's some more of that deterioration above God. See the way it kind of has horns? The metal flow. There you go. T with horns. Anytime you see that, that's a real safe bet that that's deterioration. Just plain wore out is all that is. Let's get back over here. I picked blueberries at age 14. You get blueberries in Jersey? We picked up them in Maine. I had a paper route. I shoveled snow. Took out trash for Mrs. Fenno. She gave me cookies. Okay. I don't like $1. And what else? Clear yards, rake leaves, whatever needed to be done, you know. I'd always come up with a couple of dollars when I was, 12. Had a Sunday paper route. Second biggest one in the state. And get up and deliver papers for a couple of hours every Sunday. In the summertime, go down to my grandmother's because she had a few acres of blueberries. And we'd slave out in the field for 3-4 weeks. I don't see anything here. But that would take care of stuff. Put that in a savings account, buy our school clothes, get a bike or something. We could always take some of it because it was ours. We could always take some of it and spend on something we really wanted. Like one year I got a Commodore 64 computer one year. Have a good morning. I need to get to bed. It's 5:44. It's 5:44. This is like my longest stream ever. Yes, redistribution sucks. Let the people who earn their money keep their money. You want to spend our tax money on something dumb? I could spend my money on something dumb. I don't need the government to spend my money on dumb stuff for me, right? I mean, come on. I bought plenty of dumb stuff. When the government gets involved, it's dumb on a whole new order of magnitude. Let me waste my money. You're just taking away my fun. Now, this one, the dots seem to be distended. You see the shape on that dot? How it's not round? $1 a walk? Man, we got like, how much did we get? I got $4 from Mrs. Fenno. I got, how much did I get from Minsky? I don't know. I think I got $10 from Minsky, and if it was a big store, he'd pay me more, and I did his mother's too. Now this one looks pretty interesting. I'm gonna set this one out and take another look. Let's look at this first, E dot. That one looks like it's elongated to the northwest on the dot between E pluribus. And this one looks like it's east-west, which compared to the first one would probably be in the same direction. Yeah, kind of. But the S looks wide. We'll give that a look. And that's it for the 49s. These. Not too many 49Ds in this batch. Yep. It's little bags. I should put those back in the same place every time so I can find them the next time I want them. There they are. Christmas Club. Nope, we put it in there, and that's going to pay for your college. Well, my brother paid for his Subaru. All right. I didn't get a Subaru. I got college. I'd have done better with a Subaru. Well, we had a lot of fun, though. Yeah, we got to get those in. Back over here. I think I might have just shut this thing down by accident. I don't know. Give me a moment. I'll find out. Looks good here. Let me mark this. 1949 D picks. Yeah, but nobody live streams overnight. Very few live streams in the morning. Weekends are wide open. You got Monday through Friday. Prime time is kind of sewed up. But if I get a lot of people watching, I might just go get that prime time show. There we go. 6 o'clock in the morning. I got plenty of coffee left. I'm gonna have to pee soon. Yeah, that would be a 1964 price. Yeah, we shoveled snow, 1981 to 84, sometimes after that. Newspapers, I got 50 cents, it went up to 75 cents, and I got to keep 14 cents for each newspaper. But I had like 50 newspapers. Yeah, it was 75, and that was a perfect price because they give me $1 and said keep the change. So I'm making good, I got 35 cents on a paper. And while I'm there, you need your snow shoveled, you need your lawn raked, you need your leaves mowed, whatever the hell. So I picked up a few jobs here and there. That was always handy. It's all about networking, isn't it? Worked that paper route. Christmas time, they give you a $5 tip every one of them. I'm walking around. I mean, I got cash. I'm flush here. Not too bad for 13. Yep. Now print is dead. Everybody just downloads the news. Do they still have paper routes? Yeah, audio is great. I did some changes. Victor talked to me, and we got into settings, and I don't know what we did. I got no idea. But we changed a couple of things. Go with it. Also, last time, the one that was so garbled after 15 minutes, I was in a Google Hangout, and that tends to screw shit up for some reason, either on mine or somebody else's machine. So before I started this stream, I shut everything down and started up from scratch. So it kind of reset. And I think that's helping more than anything else. But we did change some of the rates here. We're doing 20 frames per second rather than 430. And that seems to be helping with it. I don't know. You'll have to tell me about the video quality. And I've tried to slow down when I'm moving coins around, so we can actually get a couple, 3 frames, before it slides over, and then all you see is blur. Yeah, we actually go through these videos and critique ourselves and each other. So if I move these too fast, though, all you're going to see is a blur. I shut down any programs that were online, like I actually have Facebook loaded here right now because I was showing the Coin Up group. YouTube, I have my video paused, or I should have it paused. It's paused now. But whatever is interfering, I've gone through, I checked the, all those robots, that send the tracking robots that follow you around from Google, or spam bots, viruses, malware. Get rid of all that. Did the seek and destroy. But things are improving. I'd like to get another camera because I want to be able to take a picture of this coin decent, so it's that big on your screen, and you can see that Jefferson is the same size as my head. Which head one? Oh, there. No, there, and then move it in. But I want to see Jefferson bigger than my head. Boy, this is tough. So they got these egg cams. It's shaped like an egg, and they got these web cams, and they clip onto stuff. So instead of showing just that coin or my whole head, I can show you something, this big around in good clarity, and that'd be wonderful. Good Lord, or show several coins at once. There's a scale in between a 1/4 inch and 2 feet that I'm just totally not getting. I had to quit school at 14 to work full time. Family had some medical issues. We had nothing growing up, let me tell you. I had to pick noses. It was good money, fed us. Plus we had the boogers. It was good. Video's a bit choppy. I'm working on it. They're probably starting to get up around here. This is an early neighborhood. Traffic picks up right about now. Everybody's going to work. Probably janitors, a lot of hard hats. There's a big industrial site 20 miles up the road. Yep. Okay, we're coming up on 6 o'clock. I've been going for darn near Check this out, 4 hours. I'm going to use the bathroom, and I'm probably ready for a nap. But I got a couple of packages I put together I need to get out and get those out so to make sure they go out. So I'm going to call it good, guys. I want to thank you for kindly stopping in, and we'll probably do it again. Yeah, we got something done. I got through a couple of these bags. The flips are coming today.